the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security.
Boo. What is going on, people? Happy, this is the last day. No, the day before the last day. Well, it depends on where you are, of 2022. And guess what? 2023 is coming up. But tonight we're celebrating New Year's Evil. We're going to talk to you about some evil shit that's going on. We're going to have some fun and maybe enlighten and educate you. But Kevin is here. I see there are people here too. Tom is apparently apologizing because he's in Facebook jail. Our friend RBMKII or Homicidal or whoever he is tonight. He's here. Michael's here. Raj is here. There's people here. That's good. So anyway, I'm glad you're all here. I'm actually Kevin asked me to find a thread on Twitter that I forgot to pin when I authored it. So I'm going to bring him in so that I can go find this. So I can go find this damn thing. There's Kevin. Kevin says thank you
to all of you except Patrick. I don't like him.
Well, I thought it was because I allowed you to be here that you were thanking me. Seriously, you're not thanking me because of?
No, I don't even. I still don't like you. You know, though, we got all these. I sound like Logan. He is my favorite, by the way.
Well, I would assume your grandson is your favorite.
Well, of course. And then Janice.
I would hope. I would hope.
I really have appreciated this the whole year.
The hashtag clusterfuck.
Oh, that is.
Do you actually appreciate the clusterfuck or the actual?
No, these. I appreciate these.
Oh, those.
Them there. Because they have protected that damn thing about 400 times now because I'm old and clumsy. And look at that. Look how beautiful they are. They glow in the dark.
Yeah.
So
turn the light off, turn the light on.
That's right. Yeah, because I'm old and I go, and then it turns on, and then I can. Yeah. There you go.
Crap on, crap off.
So I want to thank Al, but Judy most of all for that inspiration, and everybody that's always in the chat room, even if they're not here right now. While you're looking for your thread, they're not easy to find sometimes.
Oh dear Lord, it's hard.
Yeah. Hey, just for the record, I noticed, and I don't remember mentioning this a couple weeks ago or a week ago. I noticed, do tell, why Truth Initiative hasn't tweeted since like mid-November, about the 15th or so. Makes me curious. What happened? Where are they at? What are they doing? I'm very concerned about Robin and her.
They probably have exhausted their budget for social media. It's the end of the year, so or maybe they all took a vacation. You know how it is.
November?
Public health is.
That's better than working for the government, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, right?
If anybody knows how they can not be on Twitter for that long, I'd like to hear the explanation of that. But not that we'll ever care or know long enough to see him again. But why is Betty White trending, by the way? I tell you, I love Betty White.
I did. I mean,
way more than
I
you.
still do. I mean, she has left us, but she was a wonderful woman.
Now
and
she
a very funny woman.
Yes. I think she was born about Ed's 50th birthday, if I remember right.
Well, that would have only been your 40th birthday, though. I mean,
yeah. Well, I got 3 cups of coffee, and I'm in no mood. Just I'm warning you.
Oh, good. I like it when you're in a grumpy mood.
Oh,
I do like it when you're in a grumpy mood. Hey,
what did you find it?
I still haven't found it yet, but I'll find it.
What did you come on?
I can't remember what. I mean, it's a whole thread.
Really?
It's a whole thread about child abuse.
I know.
I can't. I've done my name and abuse. I've done my name and child, and I have done multiple discussions there have been about child abuse and exploitation. And the one that I'm looking for is not. I haven't found it yet, but I will find it, and I will send a link to Skip when I do find it. Jeffrey. It is a timeline of egregious abuses with links.
I've got some, but I think I was completely separate. I don't think I tagged you in it or was under it, or I mean, I've got one, but it's not probably as awesome as yours.
The one I have is over like a decade or so. But,
right.
Anywho, what the hell's going on, Kev? I mean, really?
Nothing.
Man, I'm spending money on PayPal, and I am not even buying. Like, I'm getting alerts from PayPal saying, "Hey, we just took money out of your account."
Yeah,
that happens, I guess.
Mine is Amazon and PayPal.
Oh no, Amazon is
you can have it.
Crazy, dude.
I don't use it. I haven't. I think I've bought 2 things on Amazon since I've been on Amazon.
Oh, dude. Amazon comes to my house like every day. Like, they love me. So, did you see this story? This is not particular. I mean, it is kind of. This is not about what we normally. It is kind of something that we've been talking about. But have you seen this story here? This is from Sioux City, Iowa, and apparently. The police were called to the hospital. Hey, did you see Fixtures in the chat room? Did you see that?
What the hell is he doing? What? Did you fix your hair? Are you?
I'm wearing a hat, so you can't even see my hair. So, but
you're welcome, Kevin.
Did you see these asshole cops? I don't actually blame the cops in this particular situation. I do sort of, but not. So,
first of all, fuck off for all of them that were involved. Second of all, the immediate thought was Ray. I immediately thought of Ray for this. Ray Yeats when I was reading it.
So anyway, the cops were called. It says a terminally ill Kansas man's hospital room was raided by cops because he used a weed vape and THC paste. I guess he was spreading THC paste on bread and eating it or on toast or whatever.
Yep.
to because his cancer symptoms, not systems, symptoms were so bad that he needed to, and he's gonna die in a couple weeks anyway, right? It says right
He's
here.
gonna die.
Okay, so anyway, it says on December 16th, Hayes, Kansas police raided the hospital room of a 69-year-old man named Greg Bretz, who is suffering from terminal cancer after a hospital worker at the hospital caught him vaping marijuana. Brett said he's been vaping and as well as eating the THC paste with bread. See, I was right, to relieve symptoms of his condition since being hospitalized roughly 3 weeks ago.
Fuck that hospital worker.
So this guy is dying. Like he's in the last thing, like this hospital worker, this fucking Karen.
Come on.
I mean, I get it. You know,
there is a follow-up to this.
I know. I'm opening a different article now.
But you know what? Fuck that hospital worker. I don't care if your name is Betty or Karen or Fig for that matter. Fuck you and your fucking
every time one of us says that something bad about somebody, Karen, I do get comments on the video, Kevin. You do know that. So this is a different story. This one has been updated. The police, they did cite the guy. They gave him a citation.
Good. And they should.
He's in the final stages of terminal inoperable cancer, and he told the Wichita Eagle that he most often lies flat on his back in the hospital bed and can't stand up without being assisted. He told the Kansas City Star, it's another newspaper, that his doctor told him to use whatever was necessary to relieve his pain, including products containing THC, the active ingredient in cannabis. Police told Bretz that his vaping device could potentially be a fire hazard due to the presence of oxygen in the room. That is, you know what?
That's a possibility.
It's very, very minuscule possibility, but okay. In many vaping devices, puffing activates the battery-powered heating device, which vaporizes the liquid in the cartridge or reservoir for inhalation. Bretz was cited for drug possession and was originally set to appear in court after the new year, but the police have dismissed the citation. Medicinal cannabis is illegal in Kansas.
I don't care.
Despite 68% of the state residents supporting state-sanctioned medical marijuana access. So
and before you go, there was a statement from him saying that he was not on oxygen in one of the stories I saw.
Well, yeah, every
matter.
hospital room has a connection for the oxygen, but
you know what?
It's not dispensing oxygen unless you turn it on, right?
If any of you are in the United States, because I'm not going to fly, and you want whatever he had, and you're dying of cancer. If I can't personally bring it, we'll get it to. I'll get it to you.
I'm pretty sure that we know somebody that has a business in that product category. There may even be one in the chat room right now.
I bet there will be. That one riled me up probably just as much as any vaping story ever had.
That's not really our bag. That's not what we talk about here. But I'm just, I started the show.
The fucking guy
started the show with the Declaration of Independence read by JFK.
You know what? Even a fucking death row prisoner has, your last wish. What's your last wish? What do you want for your last meal, you fucking bastards?
And I had to bring this up because, of all the things.
Thank you.
I'm just so pissed off. I'm so pissed off that somebody that worked at the hospital that is supposed to be a compassionate caregiver would call the cops. It would be one thing if Karen, I'm going to say Karen, it could be a Kevin, but
thank you.
It would be one thing if Karen/Kevin had said, "I'm sorry, sir, but you can't vape here because of the oxygen." Yeah. But to call the cops,
Don't let me catch you would be the best phrase to use. Hey, you're not supposed to do that in here. Make sure before I come in the room that you hear me coming.
I mean,
Miss Cratchit,
seriously,
come on
yo.
her
I
way.
mean, this is, like I said, this is somebody that's supposed to care about people.
It just brings the F word out of me. It just fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck her. Fuck him. Whoever it was.
Fudge. Well, there was no show notes last week, Addie, because there was no articles, really. Did we talk? I mean, we had people on the show last week, right?
People, humans, yes.
And we had a plethora of people. Raj even came on, and we finally found out that he's Bruni's son.
Oh, Mallory and Fig and Victor.
I mean,
True.
This is a good way to end the year,
Bruni.
Kevin.
That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You gonna rile me up and then just let me down easy on the way?
Oh no, because the next one's actually a fairly well.
Well, I already cheated on a couple.
It starts out okay. So this one is from the Indiana Gazette. It says lower levels of adolescent cannabis / vaping during pandemic persisted to 2022. So I know that we're seeing all sorts of new stuff about statistics being hidden and people making redonkulous comments about an increase in a pandemic. Speaking of epidemic, Kevin, because I did mention child abuse earlier.
Yes. So
I had a tweet this week, Kevin, and I'm kind of upset that it did not get as much traction as it did. It didn't really go anywhere.
All my good ones don't. My stupid ones do.
So, I mean, this is a general question. I mean, this is about the definition of epidemic, right? So they're saying there's an epidemic because 1 in 10 school-age kids vape, according to their tweet. In past 30-day one-time use. And I'm like, so if 1 in 10 kids using nicotine vaping is an epidemic and all of these people are up in an uproar, how comes the FDA, the CDC, the Surgeon General has not released a report, some sort of announcement that sex abuse in schools is at an epidemic level because 1 in 10 kids in public school now are being sexually abused by educators and adults in public schools that are supposed to be there to help them. And I did put a link. I did put a link in here so that you guys could see the actual statistics. So,
is this a rhetorical question to me?
Well, I'm just wondering in general, why in the hell is 1 in 10 kids vaping an epidemic, but 1 in 10 kids being sexually abused or assaulted in schools by an adult not?
Because they don't want you to know that. It's unimportant for them to tell you, the public, that. And we discussed this before.
I know this is not the first time we've
that fucktard, a few weeks ago when he was trying to troll you about it. I didn't know the number. Holy crap.
1 in 10.
It's not fluffy. It's not nice. And it's not sexy enough. I'm not trying to be cute. It's not sexy enough. It's not Michael Vick with the dog. Everybody forgets the dog thing now. He's a hero again. Tiger Woods was a dumbass, and now he's a hero again. It's always the manipulation of the fun. They don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear it, Patrick. Stop talking about it. Shh, get the broom. Sweep.
Actually, Omicidal says because one has flavors. But we have stories. We've done stories on this show about adults luring kids into dangerous situations with flavored vaping. So
And booze.
Yeah, and booze.
It's just I don't know the answer other than it's not something everybody wants to hear. They just don't want to hear it.
Sorry, I had to go off into the weeds for a minute there. But anyway, the reduced levels of adolescent cannabis use and nicotine vaping seen during the pandemic in 2021 continued in 2022, while alcohol use levels increased to pre-pandemic levels. So drinking, it went back up to normal. But during the pandemic, vaping and cannabis use amongst minors went down.
Aaron and Meredith like their cocktails.
And stayed there.
They don't want to talk about that. They don't like that. Shush.
Yeah. Did you see Cerny? Cerny tried to sneak in here. You see that, right?
Well, Fig just came in with his pants down. He's just walking around strutting.
Well, I don't know about strutting, but
flipping his hair,
Yeah, I mean, that's literally the entirety of the article. But this is kind of good news. I mean, it's a nothing burger because I think we talked about it already. But why aren't people praising the reduction? Kev,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
It's not sexy.
You're distressing me over here with this. Nobody cares.
Well, I don't like you, so is that a consolation? Or
I mean, seriously,
yes, I do, Figgy. Figgaroo.
You gotta give him like a little cutesy nickname. Is that like your,
I'll start winking at him if you don't get mouthy with me.
You're gonna get your boom boom boom. But here, parents file a federal lawsuit after eighth grade daughter strip searched at middle school. Now, here's the thing, Kevin. This is not any of the other plethora of stories that we've covered about kids being strip searched in school because of vaping, or kids being spied on in the bathroom.
I didn't know that was happening.
Kids being tased and tackled to the pavement because of a fucking vape pen. Or
we're the only ones that know
the video that we showed about 6, 8, 10 weeks ago or whatever of the guy getting shot and killed in his home because the police raided him in the middle of the night and saw his vape pen and shot him. That's none of these things, Kevin.
No.
Yeah,
That's my Fig shout out right there.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Joker. Can I?
I see that you're wearing a nice picture of Jerry.
I'm not wearing one of my shirts tonight. I'm not wearing one of the mini Fig shirts. I'm wearing a Joker shirt. But anyway, here let's look at a video.
All right.
Tonight with the News 5 investigation, the mother of a middle schooler is now suing, claiming a nurse's aide strip searched her daughter. News 5 investigator Scott Null joins us live from the.
All right. A nurse's aide. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about nurse's aides, but a nurse's aide, that is not a college degree. That is a certificate program. You go to school for 6 months and you get a certificate. You're a nurse's aide.
Yeah.
What gives a nurse's aide the credentials, the authority to ask a little girl in the 8th grade to strip down to her underwear? Yeah.
Newsroom with the federal lawsuit against the school district and 3 employees. Scott.
Yeah, this federal lawsuit accuses the district of violating that teen's constitutional rights, failing to train school employees, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. All of it, says the family's attorney, because of a vape pen.
According to the lawsuit, it happened back in September inside Eastlake Middle School. The girl's attorney says the 8th grader, who's not named in the lawsuit, was approached by a friend asking her to put the vape pen in her gym locker.
And she didn't use it. She didn't want to take any part in it, but she felt pressure as a teenage girl trying to fit in. Hey, okay, leave it in there. Just, leave me out of it.
Turns out she wasn't. Attorney Jared Klebano says just before lunch, the school's principal pulled her out of class, questioned her about the vape pen. Klebano says the teen admitted it had been in her locker, but a search came up empty.
Okay, so the girl admitted that it had been in there, but it wasn't hers. They searched the locker. It wasn't in there.
Right.
Without an eyewitness saying, I saw you with it, what gives them the probable cause to elevate this into a strip search without
This isn't a crime.
without fucking calling the mom or the dad, or the mom and the dad?
Articulable suspicion, right?
What? Articulable.
Articulate.
Probable cause. I would say probable cause.
Well, probable cause too.
Reasonable suspicion.
It's good enough. All I know is you just because you're underage doesn't mean you don't have the constitutional rights, right?
Well, I mean, you're on school property. I mean, there are limited rights to privacy in the school. You actually, the school has the right to search your locker because that is school property.
Correct.
So yeah,
not your person.
You are your privacy ends at the school, inside of the school property.
Right.
Your
not inside your pants.
Your person or inside of your clothing, that is not theirs.
He says the principal searched the 8th grader's hallway locker. Again, nothing. That's when the lawsuit says the teen was taken to the nurse's office for a body search.
So this aide takes it upon herself to strip search this teenage girl down to her underwear, subject her to a...
Now, could the pat down have been just as effective?
You'd think. Since
empty out your pockets and we're going to pat you down.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would have been
cops. When the cops search you
borderline.
after you've broken the law, they don't strip search you until you get to prison,
Even the Patrick, I'm telling you, even for me, knowing she might have it on her, that's still borderline to me. It really is. Female or not, it's still borderline to me.
You can get that nurse to pat the student down. That's appropriate. A female nurse patting down a female student.
I understand, but that's still a borderline constitutional shove, I guess. I get it. I understand it. We're not looking for a weapon.
That would be 100 million% better than saying, take off your clothes.
Yes.
Search when it really wasn't reasonable under the circumstances.
Klebanow says courts have ruled schools can conduct strip searches, but those are typically limited to extreme cases like imminent.
Now, if somebody saw me at school with a pocket knife, a gun, and reported it, that might be justifiable because that could be harm to others, Kevin.
Right.
But yes, in the instance of a vape pen, I don't believe that this is
beyond
justifiable.
Reasonable, though.
Yes, no,
it's well beyond reasonable.
Threats of violence. In this case, he says the school went too far.
A lot of people might say, well, it was one day, move on. But this is an impressionable teenage girl, and you can imagine the range of emotions. So you have fear, humiliation, right? It's embarrassing that she had to go through this and be all but naked in front of a stranger.
He's correct.
Yeah. Now,
for any reason.
In the previous instances where we've had these sorts of things happen, we had that kid, the boy in Canada that had been strip searched, and they took him down to his underwear and then told him to pull the waistband of his underwear away from his body and jiggle it around. We had the girls, the 6 girls in Wisconsin. I think it was, Wisconsin, that were stripped down to their underwear by the school nurse and told, the one girl was told to pull her brassiere away from her body and jiggle so that anything that was in there would fall out. None of these instances are realistic, reasonable, or free. I mean, this is bullshit. This is tyranny. I mean, this is not acceptable over something like this, especially without calling the parents.
The first thing should have happened You call the parents. One of them has to come in. She sits in the office until they get there and let the parent do that, period. Nobody else. Nobody. And even that would be traumatic. No shit, now you got my parents coming in, you know.
Tom says,
Whatever.
what do female 8th graders wear at swimming class? Well, I don't know, because we didn't have a swimming pool at my school.
No, we didn't either.
I don't think most American school, I mean, I'm sure there are some, but yeah, most, in my experience, most schools don't have swimming classes at school. I could be wrong. Like, I'm just going by my educational experience. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if in our society, let's say this, in our society, a person choosing to wear a bikini at the beach, psychologically, that is their choice, and they've made that choice.
At the beach.
Being forced to strip down to your underwear by an adult would be psychologically different and scarring to somebody.
It's molestation.
Minimum. A, they're being forced to it. B, even though a brassiere and panties might be similar to a two-piece bathing suit, they are different articles. They are different garments. They are psychologically different than somebody choosing to wear a bikini at the beach or at a swimming pool.
Way
act,
over aggressive.
Yeah, the act of being forced to do something against your will, and again, the stigma attached to underwear versus swimwear. You might, I mean,
it's a force of power, first of all.
Yeah, period. I mean, considering at the beach everybody's wearing some sort of swim shirt, you know, whereas in a room with, if you're locked up in a room with an adult and they're asking you to take off your clothes and you're an 8th or 9th grade girl, you know, there's already lots of body shaming and things like that go, you know, teenagers are really insecure already. It's a different situation completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get what you're saying, because visibly a bikini is the same as a brassiere or whatever, but it's not.
Right, but this is an 8th grade going through psychological.
Right, they're already going through the stress of puberty and, you know, all that nonsense, the stuff they go, the angst and stuff. Yeah, if that was my girl and I was the dad, somebody would be getting a beating. I'd be in jail. And here in Texas, I'd probably get off for it, because that would be justifiable. Because here, they take that shit seriously, Kevin.
And bastard, I hope somebody's going to tell them to fuck off. I hope so. I am. Fuck off. The nurse here and the nurse at the hospital with the guy with the cancer. There's 2 fuck yous for the night so far. And thank you to everyone else, because I love you, except Patrick.
Only 2 fuck you. Oh, Kevin, I found it.
You found it. You found the thread. You found the thread. There it is.
You're not gonna believe how I did this.
How did you did this?
Well, because I knew that each one of these was listed as a month and a date. I just typed in a day and a month.
Okay.
Let me bookmark this shit before I.
There you go.
Here, let me click on this bookmark. Boom. Now
it's an abuse of authority, abuse of power, and it's completely uncalled for. If they're suing for $20 million, I'm not going to be happy. It should be $100 million. Two parts to this. One, I hope it's $100 million. And 2, they didn't mention any company name. It's just the school board and the nurse.
Give me a minute here. I gotta tweet Skippy, or I'm gonna private message Skip and send her the link to that thread so that I don't forget. She was mad last week when she came on and I called her Kim. Or I said I like Kim better than Skip. You know, I have the joke has been is that Kim and Skip are two different people. You know that I've been playing that.
I'm not going to save you. You just dig your own hole, buddy.
Yeah.
This is the part where I like you.
I ain't afraid of her.
You ain't scared.
I ain't afraid. No. So for those of you that don't know, this is the thread that I was talking about. This is a list and a timeline of every story that I could find about strip searches, about kids being abused at school over vaping, with links to all of the news articles, kids being tased on the boardwalk, all of this.
I have a blog.
So now I have to add. Now we have to add to it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, we have a new story. But yes, this is a list of human rights abuses.
So tag
right
Skip,
there.
and there you go.
Yeah. So I actually private messaged her a link to the thread.
I couldn't find it either. I wasn't sure what the words
No,
were.
I just typed in my name in October, and I knew that one of the stories had taken place in October. And it came up. I'm a genius.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's not get carried away. Shit for brains.
See, so you even roboted there. The internet was rebelling against you being abusive to me. Did you notice that? See?
Good.
Yeah. So here's one for you, Kev. This will make you chuckle. You've been chuckling. This goes under the category of stupid human tricks.
Quit riling me up. That's all. That's the only reason we have an audience, because they know you're gonna come in here and rile me up.
Oh, there's one there's something you don't even know that we're gonna do.
Of course. We're gonna do.
So anyway,
now, wait a minute. This isn't a participation.
This says man arrested for strangling, hitting teen in the face during argument over vape pen.
All right, go forward.
All right, this is a Chestnut Hill Township, Monroe County. I think this is Pennsylvania.
Oh my God.
I think this is Pennsylvania. So anyway, a man is facing multiple charges in Monroe County after police say he strangled a teen during an argument over a vape pen. According to state police, troopers were notified of a teen strangulation victim at a home in Chestnut Hill Township by Monroe County Children and Youth Services. Officials say that on December 18th, around 7:30 p.m., the 17-year-old boy brought home a vape pen and began arguing with his stepmother over it. During the argument, police say a 36-year-old man who PSP haven't identified grabbed the teen by the throat and pushed him up against a wall while hitting him in the face. Hey, there's a picture of food right in the middle. Martha Stewart's advertising right in the middle. A thorough investigation was conducted and criminal charges were filed against the man for charges of strangulation, simple assault, and harassment.
Wait a minute. They said they hadn't identified him yet, right?
Well, they're not identifying him in the middle of this article.
Oh,
the police obviously know who
There's a lot bigger problems than this kid bringing a vape into the fucking house.
Seriously,
so
man.
Fuck him too. I wonder why.
No, that's not Florida.
Does he? Well, never mind.
In Florida, it would be an alligator.
Drop bears. Oh, wait, no. Drop lizards.
Hey, shit, Kevin. We might be done.
We're done.
I literally have one more link.
What?
We're going to have to find more stuff to talk about. We're only 41 minutes in and we've zipped through. Now, the last thing is a little bit longer. And I am going to say that I really wish Joseph Magaro could come on the show.
Yeah.
because this the next piece is a video from a newscast in Kenya. And
All right.
I'm going to preface this by saying that I don't hate it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready. I got my arms all crossed like I don't care, just in case.
Appears to be a division in medical opinion on how to reduce the trimming statistics. Some medical researchers argue that vaping is the best harm reduction strategy for smokers who want to quit, whereas some, including the Kenyan government through NACADA, argue that increasing taxation on the cigarette product is the way to go. A health reporter, Elizabeth Atieno, spoke to some medical researchers who took part in a recent study on vaping conducted by the King's College London and filed this report.
There are 1.3 billion smokers in the world, and 8 million die every.
Now, I do think it's a really nice touch that they have the sign language interpreter on screen during this whole piece. Just for people. I think that's pretty cool.
Every year due to tobacco. More than 7 million of the deaths are as a result of direct tobacco, while 1.2 million are non-smokers who succumb after being exposed to second-hand smoke. In Kenya, 8,000 people die annually as a result of smoking. It has since been revealed that 7 in 10 people really want to quit smoking but find it difficult, and hence researchers have developed a harm reduction strategy where vaping or use of e-cigarettes.
Now, I do have to say that this particular item that this gentleman is holding in his hand may or may not actually be a tobacco cigarette, because in the background behind him, there is an object that is not designed specifically for tobacco smoking.
Has it got water in it?
They may not have researched their video footage. This might be stock video footage of something other than tobacco smoke.
Wow.
So anyway, let's keep going.
Cigarettes was considered the best option to ease the transition from traditional cigarettes to not smoking at all. The question that continues to come up, however, is, can e-cigarettes or vapes help you stop smoking once and for all? Dr. Michael Arioki and Dr. Nick Mutisia are medical researchers and pediatric doctors who were among a group of researchers who took part in a new research published by the Institute of Psychiatry, Psychology and Neuroscience at King's College in London, and are now exploring on their research findings.
We're being led with the idea that we feel smokers are not being heard. We feel that smokers are not being helped enough to quit smoking.
So I already like this because he said, we feel that smokers are not being heard. We feel that smokers are not being helped enough.
Yeah.
I like this guy. Already, I like what he's saying. I'm picking up what he's putting down, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep going.
Because as we can see over the years, even if we brand, they are told to quit, it's still not working. If you look at our current smoking rates in the country, we are having almost, we are about 10%.
Now, if he's telling me that Kenya has their smoking number down to 10%, for a third world country, for a developing country, whatever terminology you want to use, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's
pretty good.
I've seen a lot. I mean, we have interfaced with several public health people from Africa that are very aggressively unkind to our circle. And
67
for 10% is pretty damn good.
And that's why I say, and I've said, and I'll keep saying it, the average world 10 years from now, if they just leave shit alone, and stop screwing around, the average is going to be 5. Kenya might be 10. London might be 2. Whatever it is, it's going to average 5 around the world. They don't use those anyway.
But yeah,
They don't like that one.
Adults who are smoking. And that if you go to the younger generation, it may even be more.
And we did find out that, yes, number one, we have smokeless products that are used in this country that comprise tobacco, number one. Number two, these products are mixed with other products to make them more palatable, to make them more tastier. And one of the key ingredients that we found out mixed with the tobacco is areca nut. Areca nut is a special nut.
It's a nut.
Okay.
They're mixing tobacco with
Kill
nuts.
that bot.
Well, that's actually in Twitch. Nobody else, only somebody in Twitch can actually remove that. But yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not only people in Twitch can see that, so it's all right. It's no worries. Yeah.
I've never seen a Twitch.
Yeah, we're getting a couple people in Twitch from here and there. But anyway, so yeah, they're saying that people are mixing tobacco with other things, making oral product, which is still significantly better. Oral tobacco products are significantly better than combustible tobacco products. Yeah.
Yes.
It's actually a nut, an edible nut that is grown in Asian countries, and it has substances in it that make you...
We were also looking at the what we call risk continuum. What we say is, are there less harmful products that people who are addicted to smoking, that they are able to use, but then they get the less harmfulness and they can end up stopping smoking.
Vaping products or e-cigarettes are small battery powder devices that heat a liquid solution to create a vapor or cloud. The liquid in the e-cigarettes may contain a solution of vegetable glycerin, flavors, and varying amounts of nicotine. But just how safe is the liquid found in the e-cigarette?
In the United Kingdom, people came and they saw the science that since it is nicotine that is affecting you, it is making you addicted, then why can't we taper this person, the nicotine levels, slowly down over time? And then you can be free of nicotine and you will not desire or want to go back to burning a cigarette again. And that's how the nicotine replacement therapies came to be.
Smoking remains the leading cause of lung cancer in both Kenya and the world. 1/3 of deaths from heart diseases are also as a result of smoking. Banning of the cigarette products has since been described as the main cause of the illness. Hence, some researchers now argue that vaping products are less harmful as they do not involve combustion.
Banning the cigarette is what exposes you to getting cancer and not using the nicotine.
Did you hear what that man just said?
Itself does not cause cancer, and that's why. And
I'm gonna pull this back just a second here. Let's listen to that one again.
Of smoking. Banning of the cigarette products has since been described as the main cause of the illness. Hence, some researchers now argue that vaping products are less harmful as they do not involve combustion.
Banning the cigarette is what exposes you to getting cancer and not using the nicotine.
Ding.
See, I told you I like this guy already.
Ding. Ding.
Ding ding. Now I want to watch
ding.
Spaceballs. Ding ding. Ding.
Cerny's
ding,
over there cutting. Look.
Ding, ding,
So
ding.
I think it's even better when they have an accent like that. I really do.
Well,
It's
I mean,
classier.
I just think that when people say smart things,
Yeah.
you know,
And an accent even makes it better.
yeah.
Nicotine itself does not cause cancer, and that's why under the World Health Organization we have nicotine replacement therapies.
When you vape nicotine, which is only recommended for smokers. You eliminate the combustion part of the tobacco. The tobacco is not there, so you are vaping nicotine. And under the guidance of health professionals, you're able to guide this smoker and slowly reduce the dose of nicotine in the vape to an extent whereby this particular smoker is eventually able to quit smoking.
So the nicotine hooks you up. You are not able, because of the euphoria that it gives.
Now, I don't know about this euphoria business, though.
Well, they're going off the rail a little to my standards, but that's okay.
I mean, and some people may choose to taper down their nicotine if that's what they choose to do.
Sure.
That's fine.
Or you can go 10 years next year, 10 years, and keep on going on the same pace.
Whatever you like. But I don't get, I mean, Kevin, are you getting high off your nicotine? Are you feeling euphoria?
No. I remember that first few hits of a cigarette. I still remember that.
I don't really remember any euphoric feelings.
And that wasn't euphoric. It was like, oh shit, what is that?
Hey, this works, is what I said.
Wow, this is kind of good.
Okay. Let's keep trying this. This is working. Okay.
Yeah,
that feeling it gives you, you want more and more of it. And because of that, you end up burning a cigarette. The moment you burn a cigarette, you expose yourself to harmful products. You expose yourself to combustible products, like you have carbon monoxide, you have products like tar, you have nitrosamines, which are group 1 carcinogenic products under the WHO.
In England, the National Health System was forced to set up a Stop Smoking Services department where
they weren't forced to do it. They decided to be humane, and offer ways to help people. They weren't forced to do it. I don't like that word.
the use of less harmful products or vaping products was established, with researchers revealing that the move has significantly reduced the number of cigarette smokers in a period of 12 months.
50 to 75,000 of people in UK are quitting smoking yearly, proportions that have never been seen before. We discovered that they have a very comprehensive stop smoking services department under their Department of Health.
So Africa is now recognized that the UK approach is working.
At least these guys have.
Well, yes, no. I mean, these are Kenyan scientists, Kenyan medical professionals that have,
Now, visually, Patrick.
this actual video, Fig, or this show, because this show is on Twitter. This actual link is not, but the link to this video is in the show notes on the YouTube or on the Facebook.
Which
What were you
nobody
gonna
goes
say?
on. Oh, that the visual on this, they're speaking of the WHO, first of all, not visual, audio.
The WHO.
And then they show the flag of the WHO as if it were planned that way. That's all. It seemed. I like that. Just the way it played out. That's all.
Yeah. No. The link to this video, Fig, is the last link in the show notes on YouTube for today's show. I should start tweet. No, I don't tweet the links out in advance because then people will already know what we're going to talk about before.
Yeah, but even if they know what we're going to talk about, they don't know how we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. But
and
I'm really liking
allure.
I'm really liking these genius doctors from Africa, though.
Let's bring them on. Get them in here.
Yeah.
That educate smokers on the dangers of tobacco use. then they no longer use the approach of quit or die. They
Did he just say quit or die?
Yes.
Did he say they no longer use their approach of quit or die?
Smokers on the dangers of tobacco use, then they no longer use the approach of quit or die. They take smoking as a disease.
However, researchers maintain that vaping still poses a small fraction of health risks in the short and medium term.
Vaping is less risky than cigarette smoking by 95%.
So, tobacco harm reduction. Holy crap.
Wow.
Reduced harm.
Huh.
However, vaping is not risk-free. And I want to make that very clear. Because you are seeing there's that 5% risk when you are using vapes. Vaping is for smokers who desire to quit smoking. Vaping is not for the person who is not smoking. It's not for the youths and the adults and adolescents.
With the proliferation and rapid
Oh, I hate this guy. I know.
evolution of these products on the market, it is crucial that they are regulated so that everyone is protected, including measures to prevent their use amongst current non-smokers.
In 2014, the World Health Organization declared.
Now, 2014. Wait, what year is it now, Kevin? I mean, it is still 2022 until tomorrow at midnight.
Right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to write this down. Okay, go ahead.
Right.
The ban on vaping, especially indoors, due to the gap identified in the regulation framework in different.
And I really don't give a. I really don't care about indoor vaping bans, Kevin. I don't.
You don't.
I don't. If I have to go outside, fine.
Yeah. Because you're complacent, that's fine.
Well, I mean, again, it's not that I'm complacent. It's just that I'm fine with people.
Go over there, you bastards.
Yeah, see, they made me just pull up since they're about to mention the World Health Organization and the Framework Convention Treaty on Tobacco. I do want to remind people that there's this thing. This is just a reminder to the WHO and the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control that they have a thing that this is their founding document. This is the treaty right here.
They don't like that.
That the roof that you live under is held up by pillars you are responsible to uphold. If you ignore one, it could bring the whole thing down. Failing to acknowledge Article 1D and harm reduction is a failure of ideology. And here it is. I'm going to open the picture so that you can see. Right here, it says Article 1D. Tobacco control means a range of supply, demand, and harm reduction strategies that aim to improve the health of a population by eliminating or reducing their consumption of tobacco products and exposure to tobacco smoke.
Now, for the rest of the class, this isn't buried in Article 26, Section R. This is Article 1.
This is Part 1, the introduction. This is only the first page. Like, really, this is the first page of their little founding document. And then, obviously, I actually have a link to a document here, the fourth pillar of the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control. This is an actual document here that discusses the failure of the World Health Organization to uphold their own founding documents, blah, blah, blah. Here's a whole long thing.
Patrick?
Oh, this is from 2006, right?
Yes,
right there, boom.
Yeah. Just see.
See how embarrassing this is for you guys that I can find shit that you guys, But anyway, so yeah, there's a whole thread here. I gotta bookmark that shit too.
Let me explain something about the non-smoker ploy. Just like the children, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because 2% of the whole world are going to try them, and maybe 1% will keep trying them. Who cares? Leave people alone. Let them choose their own choice in life.
The sadness is, Kevin, is that they've known, it's been pointed out to them as early as 2006. Hey, you have a harm reduction thing right here that you're not paying attention to, that you're ignoring completely. You're focusing on the supply, the demand part of it, and not looking at the harm reduction part of it. It's built right into your documents, built right into your fucking treaty.
Yep.
But anyway, let's keep going on this.
Countries around the world. In 2021, the international body raised concerns over the alarming increase in the number of youths and adolescents using vaping products due to the flavor added by some tobacco companies. According to data...
Now, this has nothing to do with anything, but let me point out to you, if you own a company and you produce a product and you name it nasty, you're diminishing the value of your own product. I'm just saying. I may or may not know the person that owns this company. I don't know, but I'm just,
Do you care? I don't care.
No, I don't. But just the idea that you name your product nasty, or if you refer to your product as shit. Yeah, I don't get it. But anyway,
flavor added by some tobacco companies. According to data from WHO, the percentage of teenagers between 11 to 18 years who vaped in 2020 was at 4.8%, and in 2021...
Now, did we not just do an article where they said that the number of vapors in 2022 remained the same as 2021?
Yeah. Where is this is Britain, or is this them, or is this us?
This is according to the WHO.
The W hates you? Yeah.
The WHO.
The number slightly declined to 4.0%, but drastically rose to 8.6% in 2022.
But tobacco's...
Oh, look, there's Dr. Tedros.
Piece of shit.
I won't be that cruel in calling him a piece of shit, but we do know that his country has monetarily gained huge amounts of money since he became the director of the World Health Organization.
Body bags.
I will say that.
Body bags.
Yeah, you
Body
can.
bags.
The amount of money that has been invested in his country is dramatically increased while he's been in charge of the WHO.
It's a really nice tie.
Yes.
I couldn't trade all my ties in for that.
I actually would give him all the ties that I own, because I don't like to wear ties, Kevin, ever.
More than 8 million people every year. Newer products like e-cigarettes pose a new danger, marketed with flavors to appeal to children and adolescents. These products should be regulated to protect public health.
New products like flavored e-cigarettes pose...
Now you got the fucking anal wart. What are you doing?
I know, the mind control menace. New products, he says. New products. This is from last year's WHO presentation. I have the entire presentation. None of this is new.
Major threats, especially to young people. Tobacco companies are promoting them as safe alternatives to cigarettes and other tobacco products.
Now, I would challenge you or anyone or him to find one commercial from a big tobacco company that says any of this stuff.
Subjective.
Because they know in the handful of commercials from R.J. Reynolds, none of them make any of these statements, and none of these small vape companies can afford a TV commercial. Bye, Fig.
It's another dangerous chapter in the industry's history of deception. If we don't act, another generation of kids could get addicted to nicotine, and we can't let that happen.
These products are not only addictive and harmful, but most are...
And they're already illegal for minors to own, possess, or purchase.
No.
Yes. So, last week when you tweeted the picture of the kid admitting that he was vaping when he was 16 or whatever, Kevin.
Yeah.
They should be citing him and his parents for...
Oh, my wanted poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Modifiable and are difficult to distinguish from some tobacco products, making their regulation a challenge.
We need to protect the children from accessing these products. So you should not make them enticing to the young ones. They should not have things like carded. They should not have the aspect of the flavors becomes very debatable. They should be ideally prescribed by a professional.
Now, this is where we go off the rails. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
They were citing the UK, but even in the UK, you don't have to have a prescription.
But there's always concessions, right?
In the prison colonies in Australia, you do actually have to have a prescription, but
Do they have visitation at all?
Well, actually, I think that they're still locked up. I don't think that you're allowed.
All I know is you had a good thing going, and then he fucked it up at the end. But that's okay.
Yeah. But
he's got to say stuff like that.
Cigarettes.
Everybody's looking.
I think you should have. I think vaping nicotine should be available everywhere, and you should have to have a prescription to get a cigarette. Troop is right. Yeah.
Well, sure.
Like why is it that these products are not regulated by KEBS? We need the regulatory authorities to come on board.
Some researchers and epidemiologists now argue that the Tobacco Control Act in Kenya does not highlight the harm reduction strategies contrary to WHO's recommendation. The Tobacco Control Act of 2007 covers restrictions on public smoking, tobacco advertising, promotion, sponsorship, as well as packaging and labeling of tobacco products, whereas the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, Article 1D, explains tobacco control.
Article 1D.
Holy shit, that's the first time I've ever seen it on the newscast of any kind at all.
Did I not just show a tweet with that exact?
I've been tweeting that for 5 years. Hey, did you see the Trenton Truth, by the way? He said, "Give me liberty."
Yes, I saw that, but I don't know who that is. And
I don't either, but thank you.
I didn't have a moment. Yes, we definitely want you to have your liberty in almost every way, shape, or form.
Where'd we go?
Except public nudity. I really am against the freedom that particular. You
liberty. See this Article 1D. I mean, I've known this by heart for a long time. I don't know if it's been 5 years, but it's been forever.
Yeah,
they're putting it on the screen.
Yes, and they should have highlighted harm reduction strategies, but they didn't.
Well, they need some lines and underlining and pointing. Like
you need to draw an arrow and a circle and highlight and
I've got one like that. You want it?
No, I don't want it.
Plus a range of supply, demand, and harm reduction strategies that aim to improve the health of a population by eliminating or reducing their consumption of tobacco products and exposure to tobacco smoke.
The moment we have these strategies on board, we will see the number of deaths slowly go, just like we are seeing in the UK. Even if it's 1% or 2%, it's a good start. Remember, out of 2 tobacco consumers.
Now, Cerny says that she's against public nudity. And she says, have you seen most people? I think that public nudity should be okay, but you have to have a permit for that. And part of that permit means you have to meet specific requirements. You must actually be, attractive while naked. And there's very few people of the male persuasion that fit that. So, you could hand those out to, lots of women, though. And I wouldn't
think
mind.
I lost you both.
What? Nobody wants to see. I don't even want to see myself naked. I won't even look in the mirror when I'm getting dressed. or untrust. That's true.
One will die out of tobacco-related deaths.
But it appears Kenya is far from exploring or implementing the option of vaping. Through a publication dated September 9, 2022, the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse (NACADA) stated that, and I quote, 6 identified studies in the United States and the United Kingdom showed that tobacco manufacturers introduced new brands and products as cheaper substitutes, presumably to make sure cigarette smokers do not quit, considering that taxes cause prices to rise.
Now, again, the tobacco manufacturers do not give a shit about rising tobacco taxes. They're not paying them.
No.
They're not. They're turning that increased price over to the consumer to pay.
Correct.
So
that is correct.
Tobacco taxes don't scare cigarette manufacturers.
Nope.
They're increasing their product price every year. Anytime smoking starts to go down, they add 25 cents to the cost of a pack of cigarettes. You pay an increased tax on that price, and they still are recording record profits.
And you like it. And just so there's a point driven to this end. When a tobacco control expert says we're going to tax, or whether it's cigarettes or soda or any other pleasure, they know better. You're going to pay, so they're going to gain control of the population's opinion. They're going to raise your tax, and then they're going to giggle, and they're still employed. And that's what that does.
Yeah, let me see if I have. Let me see if I have something for that there.
Going to stigmatize you and make you pay.
Yeah.
That's
see, right. I had to do your little laugh.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going here. This is a pretty long video, but
this is another of the tactics employed to defeat taxation, and which is mainly aimed at ensuring that there is a steady supply of cigarettes in the market, even when the prices for existing brands increases. The other strategy employed by the industry revolves around the reclassification of products or changing their physical attributes, or even reducing its production levels so they may fall within lower tax categories. This is mainly aimed at exploiting the different approaches to taxing different products.
But these last 18 months have also shown us the extent to which the tobacco and other industries involved in the manufacture of e-cigarettes will go to make a profit. They have attempted to brand themselves as part of the solution and a public health ally, while still marketing and profiting from tobacco across the globe.
Now, Kevin,
we won't have that,
Yeah. I did see a tweet this week that kind of goes along the lines of that. Somebody said I said something negative about vaping, and the vaping Twitter army attacked me, and then I found out that that most of these people that are attacking me are paid for by tobacco companies, and I'm like, where the fuck is my check?
Is it Big Vaping or Big Vape? I forget. That's my blog.
Yeah, I would love to get a paycheck.
Oh my god.
I've been doing this shit for free. Somebody's getting paid.
Well,
because I'm not, and that's for like 10 years. Hell, I'm still short part of my sponsor money for this year, and I'm still doing it, Kevin.
All I know is the nurse in the first one, the nurse in the second one. They can all go have sex with themselves there. That's as clean as I can say it.
Yeah. I'm scrolling through my notifications real quick, Kevin, just so that I confirm with myself. Oh, I did. This is from a week or so ago.
All right.
Because I like to dunk on Grim Green as much as possible.
Okay, I'm
Not
ready.
Not really, but he did hurt my feelings with this video or with this tweet. This is from December 17th. It says alcohol has no benefits to our bodies. It only harms and it only intoxicates, but we like it. We look at what it does to our bodies and society. We say, yes, I would like to drink some poison for fun. I want it to taste like fruit punch.
That's not true. Oh well, that's
so he attacked vaping, or he attacked alcohol, and I had to say that is absolutely not true. Moderate use of alcohol has shown to be beneficial, reducing the risk of developing and dying of heart disease. We know that red wine contains flavonoids that are only present in red wines.
This is like
and I actually linked the Mayo Clinic where they said alcohol in moderation have some health benefits. Right here, boom.
This is like the eggs are good, eggs are bad, eggs are good, eggs are bad argument.
But it was just the fact that this is somebody who I kind of like, and I'm like, no, dude, no. This is like when when people post pictures on Twitter of flavored vodka and they say, well, why can they get away with it and we can't? Well, quit acting like a petulant child. But yes,
I show Aaron's
alcohol is it is indeed beneficial as long as you don't drink it to the point where you kill brain cells like me and Fig used to do on this show.
There is video. You can go back.
Oh dear Lord, we'd get our drink on, and it was pretty bad.
Me just sitting here watching you both.
So, and I said all I did was Google benefits of alcohol, and got links to many academic papers and websites.
All right, you did.
And I actually do have patients that are prescribed 1 beer per day or a glass of wine per day. But yes, when he tweeted, I found it when I was scrolling through my my notifications. That's the only reason I stopped this video for that. And,
well, there's at least he engaged with you, which I would no less than expect that.
Well, he still won't come on the show.
Well, that's a different subject, but
he never responds when I'm trying to get his attention.
I never respond and I come on.
I send you the link, you just show up.
Is there a bet every week though?
So yeah, here, Kevin, this is it here. This tweet was deleted by the tweet author. So I said I'd like to get paid for all the free vape advocacy I've been doing for the last 12 years. I don't know if you heard this, but most open vape companies can't afford to pay themselves, let alone for us to try to correct all the misinformation anti-vaping people tweet.
Don't make me get my blog.
I know quite a lot of people that are in this industry, that are in the mom and pop vaping industry.
Big vaping,
they can't afford to give themselves a paycheck, let alone paying for Kevin and I to tweet.
In fact, Bruni's, I named Bruni in that little blog of mine that day. He was causing troubles.
Dropping Bruni's name on Twitter.
I dropped Vape Me Stupid. I dropped Ann. I dropped everybody. Alan was in there. Yeah.
Yes, and I know he does beer tastings on his show, Raj. Raj says he loves alcohol just like as much as the rest of us. Just the fact that he said there was no benefit and it was only a poison, and I'm like, no, I gotta. And then
he wasn't being facetious.
No, because he responded and he said, "I'll look into your research."
Right. You guys didn't know I knew that word, did you?
Facetious. That's a very Southern word. That's like saying, "Well, bless your heart."
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart, Kevin.
Do you know how much I love Bruni? He said stupidity has become the new normal.
Well,
He cracks me
Bruni
up.
is pretty guilty.
That's me reading everybody's tweets when you guys tweet. It's just me laughing, staring at the screen.
Speaking of Twitter, there will be a tweet from Raj that gets highlighted in tonight's show.
Will there be a test?
No. There won't be a test.
Okay.
I don't believe in tests. But anyway, let's continue with this video. It's almost done.
Which are marketed to children and adolescents threaten to hook a new generation to nicotine.
They are too expensive. There is a lot of taxation on those products. Smokers cannot afford those products. Even the newer drugs, we have very new drugs that have come out in the market. They are unaffordable for our regular smoker who is smoking, for example, a packet or 2 packets a day. They cannot afford those drugs. So we advocate for the government of Kenya to make these products available. At the same time, make them affordable.
Nakada further maintained that significantly increasing tobacco excise duty and prices is the single most effective and cost-effective measure for...
I don't agree with this nonsense either.
Let me ask you a question.
You know, they started out here. They started out on this video saying that they're not listening to the smoker. They're not caring for the smoker. And now they're saying, let's tax the smoker.
Right.
That's where I get a little bit of what do you call it? I'll remember in a minute. We're mentally the two things don't agree with each other.
You're at a crossroads, are you?
Anyway,
if I want to have just global population stop smoking, and I'm in charge, and I say we're going to tax it, we're going to raise taxes 5,000%. You fuckers can smoke all you want, but you're going to pay. That would be, what is it? What did she say? Adequately high tobacco taxes. You know, no, they're going to nickel dime you slowly over time. That's what they're going to do because they like you. They want you to smoke.
It takes an act of Congress to levy a tax, to increase a tax.
Here.
It is a line item on a budget.
Here. Right.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, pretty much everywhere. The government, I mean, their constitutional government is based off of our Constitution. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of our document. Our founding documents are the example used by other countries to create their democracies.
It's that good.
Or their republics. It is that perfect.
Give me liberty.
Or give me death. Anyway, we're almost done. Hey, see, my name is Patrick. The guy that said give me liberty or give me death, his name was Patrick. You know,
look at that.
Yeah.
Coincidence? I think not.
Reducing tobacco use, further stating that increases in taxation will not only be beneficial to smokers who want to quit, but also reduce the overall consumption of tobacco. And as the
or create a giant, huge, humongous, fucking steaming pile of black market.
Divided medical opinion on vaping intensifies. Medical researchers have since found a common ground that preach.
Now, I'm looking at this guy on the right. Now, the guy on the left, he looks kind of healthy, but this guy on the right, he looks a little bit healthier, if you get my drift. Like he's so healthy that you can see his belly button being sucked in on that bottom button of his t-shirt or of his button-down shirt. As a fat guy, I can point out other people's fatness, by the way. My grandpa went to the hospital one time, and they sent him to a nutritionist because they diagnosed him with diabetes. And the nutritionist that came in to give him the lecture on nutrition was about 400 pounds. And she started lecturing him on what he was not supposed to eat and what he was supposed to eat. And he said, "Woman, I ain't listening to someone that clearly isn't following her own instructions to tell me what I can and can't eat."
Wow.
And she left in a huff.
Mm.
I'm just saying. But anyway.
Wow.
Are you were you silenced by my grandfather's brusqueness?
No. I just think it's
curmudgeony. See, I get it honestly.
If you want to preach, you better be sitting in the pulpit doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to go back off the tax thing. It's not that important. Everybody understands.
Yeah.
Is if the choice is between smoking and vaping, choose vaping. But if the choice is between vaping and fresh air, then choose fresh air. Elizabeth Otieno, TV 47, Nairobi.
Was she the interviewer we were listening to?
Yes, but
Okay,
they never spoke on camera. She might be very shy.
I was wondering who the hell she was. I was waiting. I thought she would have had more.
No, they just had to throw her back on screen and show her shaking her head while she introduced herself and said her name or whatever. Close the broadcast. So that was a 10-minute video with a lot of good points. And towards the end, it did jump the shark a little bit. But taxation is one of those things. I cannot draw a chart that proves that increasing tax rates actually reduces cigarette smoking. Now they will claim that
I can prove it can increase.
What the taxes will increase smoking rates?
Cigarette rates will go up.
Yeah. Well, cigarette profits will go up for sure.
Yeah. Rates and
Yeah. And the FDA CTP's budget will increase because tobacco user fees go up as well.
And a lot of times
states budgetary intake will go up because they collect the taxes.
Line item. If anybody paid attention, tax increases occur, coupons get taken out.
That's true.
Given away. They love to give you that a little bit for a little while. It's an automatic thing. They got free advertising for the increase.
Buy 3 packs, get a second, or get a third pack for free or whatever.
It's all built into the system, folks. Every time they talk about cigarettes, what do they do on the news? They show you a pack of cigarettes, right? It's free.
Well, no. They were talking about cigarettes here, and they were showing bongs and joints.
Well, in that country maybe, but here, what do they do?
I was a little embarrassed there for a minute for them. They could have been a little bit better in selecting their stock video footage.
The belly button black hole. I just saw that.
You just noticed that? Cerny's on fire. I just pointed out the guy's t-shirt. His shirt was sucking into his belly button, and she took off right there. So, yeah. Today, Kevin.
Today,
you know this. They have this thing called artificial intelligence. They're trying to create this artificial intelligence.
Yeah, Cine or whatever her name is.
Well, this one is called OpenAI, and I did see a video of somebody was showing OpenAI and asking questions. You type in questions, and it answers questions. And what it does is it apparently it has recorded all of the information on the internet up to like a certain date in 2021, and it uses all of that data from the internet to create answers to your questions. So I went ahead and created an account with this OpenAI.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I have a small collection of horror movie,
Kiss
and heavy metal band. Well, not just heavy metal band and musician Funkos. Those specific categories only. I do have I have several Johnny Cashes. I have several Motorhead ones. I have several Lemmys. Yeah. Anyway, so this is it here. This is called OpenAI. And down here's a little window, and you type in questions. So
that's good.
So we're gonna ask OpenAI some questions about vaping. And it's going to scour the internet and create human-like responses to my questions. So let's start out simple. We're going to type in, what is vaping? I can't type vaping. Vaping. And question mark. Let's see what it says. So it says, vaping is the act of inhaling and exhaling an aerosol commonly referred to as vapor, which is produced by an e-cigarette or a similar device. The e-cigarette is a battery-powered device, blah, blah, blah. So it gives you an answer here.
Synopsis.
Let's see. Vaping is
often
marketed. What?
It looks like a copy paste for most of the articles I read.
Well, and this is generated off of all of the information on the internet. So it says here, vaping is often marketed as a safer alternative to smoking, but is not without risks. The long-term effects of vaping are not well understood, and the use of e-cigarettes has been linked to a number of health concerns, including respiratory issues and an increased risk of lung infections. Some e-cigarette liquids also contain potentially harmful substances, such as diacetyl, which has been linked to a serious lung disease called popcorn lung, so forth and so on. So this, like I said, is generated by all the information that is available on the internet.
Already, it's bad.
So, okay, this is it is generating this based on probably a Wikipedia article or, any number of unhelpful, website stuff from CDC, whatever. It picks up all that information. So let's type in, is vaping safe? The long-term effects of vaping are not well understood. There are ongoing debates and studies about the safety of e-cigarettes, while some research suggests that vaping may be I had to switch monitors here.
See, now it just goes into the gateway, which is irrelevant.
So, yeah, let's see. Yeah. While some research suggests that vaping may be less harmful than smoking traditional cigarettes, it is not without risk. One concern is the vapor produced by e-cigarettes contains a number of potentially harmful substances, including metals, ultrafine particles, volatile organic compounds. These substances can be inhaled and may be harmful to the respiratory system. So again, this is an artificial intelligence that is pulling all of the information that they can have on the interwebs.
This is exactly as smart as anybody that's in public health.
So again, this could be where newspaper article people are getting their fucking, literally you can boom.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. So let's see what else.
What do I want it to say? That's what I wanted to say. And then they just edit within. Yeah.
What
Billy
is
got
here?
Arrested.
What is harm reduction? Harm reduction is a public health approach that it aims to reduce the negative consequences of behaviors that are harmful to individuals or communities without necessarily requiring people to stop engaging in those behaviors. Harm reduction approaches recognize that people may engage in behaviors that have inherent risks and aim to minimize the potential harm of those behaviors rather than focusing on eliminating the behaviors altogether. Harm reduction approaches can be applied to a wide range of behaviors, including substance use, sexual behavior, and other behaviors that may pose risk to an individual's health or well-being. Examples of harm reduction strategies include clean needles and other injection equipment to people. Providing clean needles and other injection equipment to people who inject drugs, distributing condoms to reduce the risk of sexually transmitted infections, and providing overdose prevention education, and naloxone, a medication that can reverse an opioid overdose, to people who use opioids. The goal of harm reduction is to improve the health and well-being of individuals and communities by addressing the root cause of harmful behaviors and providing support and resources to people. So again, that's a widely accepted definition of harm reduction as provided by the internet.
This is, each answer is a generalization of what's on the internet.
Well, I mean,
That's
you figure
exactly
this
right.
thing is generating a human-like response to a question using a vast pool of data.
Yep.
Like I said, it's recorded the internet up to a certain date in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. Give me a question to type in here, Kevin.
Non-vaping? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, just give me a general question about anything in general.
Is Santa Claus real?
That would give me a specific answer.
Is Santa Claus real?
Oh,
I've always wanted to know. Well, I was going to say, can vaping cause syphilis because of Tom, but I thought that would be a little odd. Woohoo! Look at her go, or him, or it. Oh, yeah.
Whether or not Santa Claus is real is a traditional sense up to individual interpretation. Some people believe that Santa Claus is a purely fictional character. So they did at least try to. I mean, there's a long preamble to the answer to your question.
Well, the first sentence.
Let's
read the first sentence.
Well, no, it says it's a story.
That's right.
The story of Santa Claus. But
however,
no, let me how many, let's just, I want a question that we have an empirical answer to is what I was asking from you, not a silly, stupid question about Santa Claus.
All right.
So let's see, how many states are in the United States of America?
Well, that should be pretty quick and easy.
So there are 50 states. So, and it's still going to, now it's listing off all the fucking states. See?
Wow.
So it can give you, like, you want to,
more specific. Yeah.
Right. So let's see. Why is the sky blue?
Well, it's not.
And it gives you a response to why the sky is blue and the definition of color spectrum and so forth and so on.
My son told me that. He said, what color is the sky? I said, blue. He said, no, it's not. And I said, what is wrong with you, child? And then he explained it to me just like they're doing. And I said, huh.
So now
I learned something.
Give me examples of harm reduction.
Well, this should be good.
Yeah. Now it just gives me, oh, here we go. Now it's at least listing them.
It's giving you the same it did before, pretty much.
But slightly differently in a different format, and it's adding a couple things.
Because you said list.
Or give me examples of.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I like that bottom note.
It is important to note that harm reduction is not the same as promoting or condoning harmful behaviors, but rather aims to reduce their negative consequences.
What was the Surgeon General?
So now, let's be very specific here.
All right.
What is tobacco?
You get that L out of there.
What,
Liz?
No, that's just my cursor.
Oh, all right, good. There you go.
That was just the arrow from this.
Let's see what happens.
So let's see.
Huh. I'll be damned. Oh, look at that.
Ah.
Huh. And then it goes right back to this paragraph from earlier. Yeah. Yeah. That's almost, I bet that's verbatim. on that next slide.
But it does. It did go and find a response to tobacco harm reduction.
It does exist.
It is a public health approach that aims to reduce the negative consequences of tobacco use with the ultimate goal of reducing the burden of tobacco-related disease and death. Tobacco harm reduction strategies are designed to provide safer alternatives to smoking traditional cigarettes with the goal of helping people who smoke reduce their blah, blah, blah. And then it goes into nicotine to vaping, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that's kind of what we expected.
It didn't. So now go back up for a second. It doesn't say patches, gums, inhalers. It doesn't say. Huh.
No,
weird.
It didn't bring up any other NRTs or anything like that.
So, what does that tell you?
That most of the conversation on the internet about tobacco harm reduction is stuff that we generated.
You, sir, just won a prize. So those people who we admire and have written about this topic are featured in this answer. That's what that is.
Yeah, I mean, we're the only ones. Public health is not talking about tobacco harm reduction.
Dr.
Otherwise,
Dr. Needleman, Dr. Gardner, etc.
Yeah, I mean, it's just us and our cohorts that are talking about tobacco harm reduction. That's why.
So you could screenshot that.
I could. Now let's see.
Are you gonna know?
Let's see what this question. What is EVALI?
Oh.
Let's see what it says.
And other vaping devices. Yeah. Not fully understood, my ass.
So again, this takes all of the commenting, all of the internet web pages, everything that talks about EVALI.
Yeah.
And you notice that this response does not include any conversation or discussion or mention of vitamin E acetate.
No. So this is garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is open source AI is what this is. This is an experiment that is being conducted to generate, coding or whatever. And it's using all of the information on the internet. So if all of the vast majority of information on the internet about a specific topic is nonsense or is misinformation, the artificial intelligence is going to regurgitate the garbage in, garbage out, Kevin.
Yeah. So we've covered this here first.
Steve asked a question.
Okay.
And then Mallory asked a question. So let me get Steve's question in first. Why is the WHO so stupid?
Now, if they bring up the band, I'm going to be really mad. It's not. Well, okay, why is Jerry so stupid? It is not appropriate.
It is not appropriate or respectful to refer to organizations or individuals as stupid. The World Health Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations that is dedicated to promoting global health and addressing the major health challenges facing the world. WHO works to research and understand the causes of health problems, develop policies and programs to address those problems, and provide technical assistance and support to countries around the world.
Wow. Why is Jerome Adams?
No. What is the harmful? Mallory had a specific question about vaping. So what are the harmful Side effects of vaping. It's gonna say the same thing.
Probably.
Now it's listing them, but this is the same garbage in, garbage out. This is the same list of stuff.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But I just thought this would be an interesting experiment because I know, I mean, this is using information that is freely available on the internet.
Oh, I like Ron's. How many people have died? And I don't know which acronym you want, but because there's like $8,500 hanging right now. Let's see how specific. It's difficult. Yeah. That's not the truth right there. So
500 people died of E Valley?
Yeah, it was like 540 something. I don't know the number anymore. Forgive me. 540 something, I think.
All right. No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, Pippa added 10 grand to that. So 18, sorry. 87 is 80, 18, 850. Wrong set.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah. Oh, no, Patrick, I was bitching at Jerry about him doing what he was doing because he was causing more deaths because he wasn't telling the truth about what the cause of the deaths were. 2807 and I don't see. I thought it was like 5 something. Somebody might know in the group with a link to what it is, but
I didn't think the number of fatalities was that many.
Oh, so Mallory said 63. She said 63. Maybe I'm thinking it was 53 instead of 530.
I don't think it was that many. How many people have died? 68.
68. Okay.
So where in the hell is the AI getting 500 deaths? Let's see. What is the source of your statement of 500 E-Valley?
YOUR.
Could have waited for
Will it answer that?
Yes.
No kidding. So I'm going to lie until I'm corrected. All right. Oh, and then I'm going to scold you beside, you bastard. Why are you asking me so many questions?
So I apologize for the error in my previous response. I do not have access to current news or data, blah, blah, blah. The information I provided about the number of deaths
that wasn't
not
20,
accurate.
that was
I encourage you to refer to sources information about the current state. So yeah, they will answer. I mean, it will answer your question. So the video that I saw earlier was from a celebrity, and he asked the AI how tall he was.
Yeah.
And it said that he was 2 inches shorter than he actually was. And he said, where did you get that? Where did you get that? What is the source of that information?
No shit.
And it referred to the Wikipedia page of this celebrity. And then he said, where did Wikipedia get that response? What is the source for the Wikipedia?
Ooh.
And it said from his from the IMDb of this person. So that he said, where did they get that information? Then it said, oh, according to this person's official website, his height is 2 inches taller. So like it will tell you where, I mean, if it's a source, you know, yeah. So
I'll be right back.
I mean, yeah. So like I said, this is like the human, you know, when we ask the question about like, is vaping safer than smoking? And the general population says in 2014 or 2015 or 2016 that, you know, 70% of the people responded, yes, vaping is safer than smoking. And now we ask that same question and it is completely reversed, and 70% of the general public believe vaping is worse than smoking. This is how this sort of cognitive modeling is working. This is using all of the misinformation and stuff that can be freely available from the internet to come up with a response. And it, you know, it is entertaining, but also based on the fact that it is using people's statements on articles or people's statements on Wikipedia, which is a crowd-based response. I mean, Wikipedia is not written by subject matter experts. It's written by people like you and me that apply to be editors on Wikipedia. That, you know, we can change information on Wikipedia if you are approved as an editor. So this is the same
Except
thing.
Fergus.
But he gets kicked out of everything he tries to do.
Well, just
So
above
at
it says
least-
it's not safe.
Well, I mean, it does say. I was waiting to see if it was going to do the same thing that the general public did and
Right.
reverse its opinion on vaping.
Good
But
Lord.
it's at least basing its information.
Right.
So if I said, what is the source of your last response?
Wow.
So it says, I do.
Right.
As an AI language model, I do not have access to current news or data, and my knowledge is based on information that was available up until 2021.
Mm-hmm.
My responses are generated based on the information and training data that I have been provided and do not necessarily reflect the views of any specific organization or individual. It is important to note that the long-term effects of vaping are not fully understood, and more research is needed to fully understand the risks and benefits. If you are looking for more information, blah, blah, blah. I recommend consulting reliable sources such as government health agencies.
Well, of course. Because they're reliable.
Government health.
They told me so.
Yeah, look at this. This is government health right here.
The question. How does one master power over another? Obedience is not enough. Power is in pain, humiliation, be sure. Power is tearing minds apart.
Yeah, that's right there. That's an example of public health, government health agencies.
Good. Double plus good.
But anyway, that was our fun with AI segment, Kevin. But again, like I said, this is a cognitive model based. I mean, they're building intelligence by crowdsourcing data off of the internet, where any schmo can write an article and post it on the internet. And then
exactly
this thing will read it as subject matter expertise and included in its cognitive modeling.
And then the idiot writing the article will copy and paste what the other idiots have
So
put
if
in.
I was a kid writing that, if I here, look here, let's just go back. So, so say you're in American history, and you have to write a paper on George Washington.
Yeah. Wow.
It's literally going to give you the first paragraph or the first couple paragraphs of your paper.
You just reword a few words. It's not plagiarism anymore, is it? There, Zippy. He was born in West Virginia in 1732. You can change this quickly and easily.
Right. I mean, something like this, sure, I can, hear about this. Who I'm reading this particular general's by autobiography right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. This guy is actually, I suggest to anyone who is interested in reading about the American Revolution to read this guy's biography. This guy's a character. So yeah, Daniel Morgan is a soldier and statesman who played a key role in the American Revolution. He was born in New Jersey in 1736 and grew up in Virginia. As a young man, he worked as a wagoner and later as a teamster, and eventually became a successful businessman. During the American Revolution, Morgan served as a captain in the Colonial Army or Continental Army and quickly rose through the ranks, eventually becoming a brigadier general, and is best known for his role in the Battle of Cowpens, a key victory in the American forces during the war. Morgan's tactics and leadership during the battle were instrumental in the American victory, and he's often credited with helping to turn the tide of the war in favor of the Americans. They called him the American Hannibal. And he was the first person to tell his marksmen, shoot the officers first.
Well,
he was a little bit, he was uneducated. He did not go to school. He could not read or write until later in life. And he was a drinker and a little bit of a character. During the French and Indian War, he got into a fight with a British officer, and he knocked
Brits.
He knocked that son of a bitch out and was sentenced to 500 lashes, which was the same as a death sentence. I mean, essentially, and he survived.
I think you told me this.
Yeah,
wow.
this guy's you want, and it's a very lots of these books are not really well written. Like they're not interesting enough to keep reading. They're kind of dry, but this one it tells his story as he told it. There's a lot of sections that are right out of his own words that make it interesting. What is Steve saying? Echo
on the FDA video.
Was there?
Echo. Yeah, a little bit.
Really?
It was like the glance thing, but it's not as good as with the glance thing. The glance thing is great. I love it.
I don't know why they were.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm wearing headphones. So did you get anything for Christmas, Kevin?
No. Yeah, I did. I just look at it.
You got a picture of your grandkid in another man's lap?
He's not in his lap, first of all. That's the wrong hand. I said to the mother, I said, well, tell me about his experience. And she said, dude, he went straight to that man and got on his side like he did, and he was ready. He was just ready. So yeah, we had Christmas.
Take my picture, he says. I want my picture.
He was gung ho and ready for that shit. But she said he never even got in his lap. That's where he was.
I don't recall in my childhood whether or not I ever. My parents probably. I just don't remember. Did that you get your Santa Claus thing. So, let's ask the AI one more question.
All right.
Where does nicotine come from? Let's ask this question. Nicotine is a naturally occurring chemical that is found in certain plants, including tobacco plants. It is produced by tobacco plant as a defense mechanism against insects, as it is toxic to many insects and can help to protect the plant from being eaten. Nicotine is most commonly associated with tobacco products such as cigarettes, cigars, and chewing tobacco. It is also present in some e-cigarette liquids, which are used in electronic vaping devices. Nicotine is a stimulant and is highly addictive and can have a number of negative effects on the body, including increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes, affecting the development of the brains of adolescent rats and young adult rats. It is important to be aware of the risks associated with nicotine, to use caution while using products that contain it.
So are you telling me that we shouldn't have patches and gums, Patrick? They should be taken off the market immediately, right?
Well, I specifically wanted the AI to tell me where nicotine came from, because I did see a tweet this week from a very good friend of ours, and I'm only showing this to poke him a little bit, because I saw this tweet and I sent it to Kevin, and Kevin didn't immediately see what was making me scratch my head and sort of laugh a little bit, but I did have to show it. So let me share screen here. So this is from our very good friend, the brother from another mother, our very awesome friend Raj, and it says, this is in response to a tweet from this guy Manoj Sharma. And he says, vaping is less harmful than smoking, but it's still not safe. E-cigarettes heat nicotine extracted from tobacco, flavorings, and other chemicals to create an aerosol that you inhale. Regular cigarettes contain 7,000 chemicals, many of which are toxic. Okay, fine. I don't disagree with anything in this tweet, Kevin. Not in the text of his tweet. So there's a picture here. It says, is vaping safe? ? Although the term vapor may sound harmless, the aerosol that comes out of an e-cigarette is not water vapor and can be harmful.
Well, water vapor can be harmful.
Well, if it's hot enough. The aerosol from an e-cigarette can contain nicotine and other substances that are addictive and can cause lung disease and health. Now, this bit right here, there's no scientific data that would in any way, shape, or form back that up. None. There is no scientific data that would say that vaping nicotine causes lung disease. It is a stimulant and can affect your cardiac heart rate and some effects such as that.
Quite.
Somebody remove that comment, please. I'm not. It needs to go before they strike my fucking channel. But anyway, let's scroll down here for a minute to our friend, Raj. Raj says nicotine from e-cigarettes is not extracted from tobacco. Instead, nicotine extracted from pharmaceutical grade nicotine. We love you, Raj, but nicotine can't be extracted from nicotine. It has to come, Obviously, there's synthetic nicotine, which is extracted from a lab beaker. And then there's tobacco-based nicotine, which is extracted from tobacco plants.
I'm looking.
I gotta.
You got it?
That is, I'm going there now. I have to get there quickly because I cannot. I don't care what you say in your own time, but as you're saying that in this chat room,
nope,
my channel can get stricken from YouTube for usage of that word, even if it is in the chat room. And as I enjoy doing my show and having some fun, I don't let people say stuff in my chat room that will get my channel stricken. Period. And if you do it again, the wrenches, which there are many, will just keep you out of the chat forever. I'm not telling them to do it now, but if you do it again, because again, I love my show. I love spending my Friday evening with my friends, but having some person come in and say words that will get my channel stricken can't happen. Can't happen. Anyway, yeah, go ahead and block and ban that guy. Yeah. There. I will handle that myself. Anywho, Kevin, what else you got?
What? No, we don't do. We don't really. I tried my damnedest not to be on Twitter this week, just because they're all pissing me off. It
happens.
Gifts. Janice and I haven't done that since we've had kids for gifts. We kind of do the, oh, you need a new pan. Okay, let's go get a new pan. You know, one of those deals. On a very rare occasion, we'll go out to dinner. You know, birthdays and stuff, but not for Christmas itself. That's always been for the kids. And now they're adults, so we don't have to do that so much. But Logan is the thing, you know. So you have to. It's all good, Rob.
No, I just wanted to take the mick a little bit, you know. I mean, the guy's tweet, I didn't find anything wrong with the guy's tweet.
Yeah, the tweet was borderline.
For the lung cancer, heart disease, and stuff. That, you know, that's not true, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, no. Yes, no, YouTube has a policy of, like, if people say stuff in the chat, it can actually get the host channel banned. And I don't, you know, I'm not monetized. Yeah, no. I'm not, like, I'm really below the radar, but if there's a bot out there, it will find me.
Yeah, of course.
So I would be the one guy that I would be the one victim of that. I mean, we have friends that got their whole channel turned off or whatever because they had a link in a video from 5 years ago.
Yep.
Actually, I know for a fact, I have a friend who does a comic book show who somebody came in and said that particular word in the chat room and they got blocked.
Yep.
So Tom used the word arse, ARSE, on a Facebook post, and he's now in Facebook jail for using the word arse.
He's on the chain gang.
I'm all for free speech, but this is their platform, and they have. This is not a public utility. They don't have to follow your free speech guidelines, and we're using their platform. So we have to try to sort of follow their rules. It's their shit. You know, Fig and I had a big fight one time on this show about free speech and about social media. And
right.
And, I've never on Facebook, even though I don't post on Facebook anymore, but in the over a decade amount of time that I was on Facebook, I never got put in Facebook jail ever. But I do tend not to use foul language in my social on Twitter. I don't use foul language on just because people don't take you seriously when you do.
Mm.
And the people that we interface with are usually public health people. They're professors or whatever. and you're playing into their stereotype of our community when you do that. So yeah, I don't do that.
I've been shadow banned on Twitter a few times. I've been
shadow banned on Twitter.
I've been jailed once on Facebook, and I honestly don't remember what it was. It was pre 2020. It was something.
But I've never had my account locked.
No,
I've never had my my Facebook locked or whatever.
No.
I mean, look, Dr. Glover lost her Facebook or lost her Twitter for an entire year, and they never specifically told her which tweet it was.
Nope.
That got her, or what specific, what was the nature of her ban? They just said, "Oh, you're perma banned."
Took a while. She came back.
It was a year.
Yeah, it took a while. Too fucking long. Way too long.
So
way too long.
What the hell?
So yeah, I'll. Is yours bouncing?
Yes.
Mine are too. And then I roll back up just a hair and it'll stop. Just one little mouse roll.
Weird. It was just, I was like, I was having a nystagmus there for a minute. But yeah.
So, there's times and places for some things, and then there's not. And since this is Patrick's show,
I don't want Kevin getting my channel blocked. I mean, I'm struggling here.
I should have told Fig this earlier. You haven't muted me in quite some time.
No, you're always muting yourself. I have to remind you to unmute yourself.
That's because I'm getting old. I can't remember.
So today, I had over 210 miles today in my route between patients today.
Yeah.
And one of the rural places I go, it's about a 75-minute drive from there back.
Yeah.
And there's a Burger King. I mean, there's nothing there but like a truck stop and a Burger King and a couple houses. But people were parked in front of the Burger King. There were two vehicles parked I haven't seen this in a while. People selling puppies out of the back of their cars on the side of the road. I haven't seen that in a while. But they did have Frenchies. They did have, I was very tempted to get a French bulldog today. But then I thought I'm going to come home and they had Huskies too.
Oh.
They had three different, they had Shih Tzus, Huskies, and French bulldogs. And I would have gotten a Husky, but I feel bad to have a Husky in South Texas. In the summer, it's like 120 degrees.
Yeah.
They have long hair.
It's hot.
So yeah, I would feel kind of guilty about that. The poor animal would have to live in the house all summer. But
so what did you get each other for Christmas?
Oh, so
let me rephrase. What did you get yourself for Christmas? And then what did
I've gotten myself. I can't even tell you the number of shit that I got for myself, but
hey, quit bouncing.
I did. Are you at the bottom of your thing? And is it?
Yeah.
Nope. Mine still is doing it.
Haha.
But so I bought my wife came into the office like a month ago, and I have like 3 different sets of these Bluetooth headphones here. Like I bought a couple different sets to see which ones I like the most, and she said that she's an Apple person, so she wanted iPods or what are they called? What are they called?
I barely know what
earpods. Apple earpods.
Earpods, all right.
So they're like $250 for a set. So I bought her a pair of those.
Yeah.
And she came home from work a couple weeks ago, and her jacket that she wore to work, one of the nurses that she worked with stole her hoodie. Now, my wife is tiny. Like my wife weighs 102 pounds. Like
or took it like I'm taking this home with me, honey, or she stole it.
Well, it disappeared.
Wow,
it's gone.
Jesus.
So,
oh my
so
God.
I bought her an Adidas zip up jacket, to match her work scrub color. And I had bought her a pair of pajamas like 2 years ago, and she wears them constantly. So I bought her another set that's a different color, but the same exact pajama. And I bought her a 50-pound weighted blanket.
Oh,
no, a 25-pound weighted blanket.
Okay.
People, we bought some weighted blankets for our godchildren a couple years ago, and they love them. And I've read a lot of research on them, and people tend to dig them. So I bought one. So I spent about $400 and some on her Christmas. So my wife is a horrible gift giver, by the way. She doesn't put much thought into her gift. Normally it's the day after Christmas. Normally the day after Christmas, she's like, "Let's go to Best Buy and buy you your Christmas gift."
Oh, see.
But I tend to drop hints for all year. Like, oh, this would be cool. So forth and so on. So I wear these shirts that are American whitetail shirts. They're like outdoorsy. It's an outdoors brand. And they sent me a catalog. And I opened the catalog and showed her the exact one I wanted.
Like the Christmas Story?
Kind of like the Sears. You remember when the Sears wish book would come out every year before Christmas and you would circle what you want? Kind of like that. Trying to be as...
When I wasn't using it for toilet paper, yes.
As transparent as possible.
Way back then, yeah.
So, a couple days before Christmas, she was off and I was at work. And I came home and she's like, "I bought you a Christmas present and it's wrapped up under the tree. It was expensive."
Oh.
So I wait. Christmas shows up. One of my drinking buddies, that's the husband of one of her friends, brought like a little. The wife brought like a couple gift bags, and one of them had my name on it. So, I open his gift, and it is a smoked salmon.
Ooh.
Okay. It's a full plank smoked salmon that is already, it's one of those, it's vacuum sealed and no refrigeration necessary. It's preserved.
Yep.
And then I get this box from my wife. Now I was the last. I made her open all of her presents. So she's already got this big, huge stack of and then I opened this one package from my wife, and it's a flannel shirt. And she's like, "That was expensive." And it's a quilted flannel shirt. So it's got the quilted lining and everything. And it's nice. Don't get me wrong. But the price tag on it said $130. And I said, "You paid $130 for this?" And she didn't say no. So I was like, if you paid $130 for this, you need to take it back because you got gypped. Because this is not a $130 shirt.
Right.
And this is not about who paid more for what. This is not what this is. Right. It is not the shirt it is not the thing. The one that I showed her was a hoodie, and it was a Sherpa lined jacket, flannel shirt sort of thing with like leather. And it was half the price of $130. So I start looking and I'm like, where would she have gotten this? Well, my wife is a JCPenney person. So I go to jcpenney.com. I find the shirt, and it was regular price was like $79, and she got it on sale for $59. And I'm like, So she was immediately looking guilty. And she's like, "You can, here's my credit card. I didn't get you enough," and blah, blah, blah. So for the last couple of days, every time she met, did you buy yourself something yet? And I'm like, no. I'm like, no.
I'm not in the mood.
So I'm going to milk this out to get
an ass.
like a a prime rib dinner is what I, you know, when I'm.
I'll say what everybody in the chat room's thinking. You're such an ass.
I'm gouging her for a prime rib dinner is what it is.
You just.
I mean, I spent on myself, Kevin. Like I could pick up. I picked up here. This is an omnibus.
Yeah.
Of Dashiell Hammett is the writer of Sam Spade and the Maltese Falcon, and Alex Raymond was one of the creators of Flash Gordon. They did a newspaper strip of a character called Secret Agent X9 in the 30s. This is an entire volume of all of their newspaper strips from the 1930s. So I bought this for myself. You know,
when the kids were really little, I would tell Janice to buy me a jar of Folgers coffee, and that's what I would get for Christmas. Because they didn't go get it, but it was from them, you know. So yeah. But buying my own. No.
Mallory says that I have to have my psyche valve before sane before I can do what? Oh, Cerny says I still want a Remington Model 700 308 with an adjustable trigger. That's not. You want me to go to the gun safe?
Boing.
There might be a 1911, another 1911,
maybe
in the Christmas list now.
Maybe.
I do have tomorrow to go to the gun store.
Oh yeah, see.
I don't have a nickel-plated one. I'd really like to have a shiny one.
I got a nickel-plated one. Not a 911.
I don't have any. I don't have any shiny guns. Most of my guns are.
I've had mine. The one I carry, that I lost in a tragic accident. It's got the wood handle, like an old man gun.
Yeah.
But I've had it since I was 21 years old. You know, so
yeah.
There you go. And I don't like it any better than I did when I bought it, but it was cheaper, and I needed it, and that was it.
Well, I mean, as far as 1911s go, you can never have too many. I need a fourth.
Yeah, I don't have one, so yeah.
But shiny guns, I mean, they look nice, but shiny guns do, you know, give themselves up, and I mean, you know, you can see them, and
yeah. It'll be all right.
Now I'm thinking about guns.
There's always something to look for.
I know, but I go there and I'll see something I don't have. I still want a James Bond gun. I still want a Walther PPK. I don't have a Walther.
I want a Walther 22.
Cerny, go to the gun store right now and find a Taurus Arms Judge. If you want a revolver, that's the one. I have one. I like it. Well, if you want a cowboy gun, if you want a cowboy gun, you know.
Cowboy guns. I had a Walther P22, and I remembered it, and I took the kids, and I had other selections, but I rented that one. I didn't want them shooting mine specifically right away, and he said, "Yeah, this will be all right."
If you have kids, you never want to teach them on your guns, because you don't want them to be familiar with your guns. You want, you know, especially if they're young kids that might actually touch your guns.
Yeah, they were 8 and 10, something like that, 9 and 11 maybe. We did this. I asked the gentleman, I said, could you demonstrate for me, briefly at least. And Dustin said, why did you ask? Don't you know how to do that? I said, it's not my gun. I have no idea. And we brought it back and they did fine. And I said, I like that. How much do they run at the time? I didn't buy one, but he said, yeah, this thing's been repaired quite a few times, but it's got, easily over 1 million rounds through it because it was a rental,
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. So yeah, those.
No,
look
I
like
mean,
really.
if I was gonna buy an old fashioned revolver,
Yeah.
and I was going, I want a Colt Peacemaker.
Well,
and I want the really long. I want the the long Jesse, not Jesse James.
You want to have to.
I want the Wyatt Earp
to get
version with
All
the
right.
really long barrel. I want.
All right.
That's the one I want. If I'm gonna get one of those, I want and I want the presentation piece with all the scroll work and the engraving. I mean, if I'm gonna get, that's gonna be a pretty gun. I want that one. And you can still shoot it. Yeah.
So purdy. Why not?
You still got to shoot everything. I have guns. I have pretty guns. I have some rifles that are presentation pieces, but I still take them bitches out and shoot them when I can find a place to shoot them.
Yep.
Now that I live in a city, I don't have that. There's not that many long ranges that I can pull out the long guns.
But you can go tomorrow. There's always something to see. There's always something to look at.
No. The guy at the gun store, he knows me quite well.
Here comes Patrick.
He's like, what are you not buying today?
That's right.
Because I know you don't have any guns. You're just here to look. And I'm like, yes, I'm just here to look.
Yep.
I still haven't bought my wife her pink gun. She told me she wanted me to teach her how to shoot and buy her a pink gun. And I said, I will take you to the gun store and enroll you in a gun safety class and have a professional teach you how to shoot. She said, well, why can't you teach me? I said, because you will argue with me.
Yep.
You will not argue with a professional. I said, I could know everything that man knows and you would still argue with me.
Yeah, Janice wasn't that way, but she took one trigger pull, set it down, and said, "That's enough for me." And I was okay with that. She didn't like it. She didn't want to do it. She was never around it. She was afraid of it. It's okay.
No. Some women, you put a gun, especially women that are like anti-gun, you put a gun in their hand, they pull their trigger for the first time, and they're like orgasmic, and they're like, ooh.
Oh, hang on a second. I'm kind of liking this. I've seen that too, but she was not that. She said, nope, not me.
No, I said some women. I didn't say all women.
But I appreciated her trying.
Some women don't like the feel and the power of the kick in the hand. And
didn't like it. Nope.
Yeah.
She said, never again.
Oh, but there is a semi-auto shotgun.
Yeah. What's this vaping stuff anyway?
Sorry. You distracted me.
I know.
With the Christmas talk.
It'll be all right.
But I did ask first, didn't I? Yeah. So I got a fish in a shirt, Kevin. That's what I got for Christmas. A fish in a shirt.
Fish in a shirt. Yeah. I got the hugs and lovings and cuddlings with my boy or my grandson.
Like I said, I'm fishing. I'm stretching this out a little bit just to get a prime rib and a beer. That's all I really care about.
You want the whole prime rib or just a little bit?
Well, I cooked an entire prime rib for Christmas, but I want somebody else to cook it for me. I want to go and have a beer and a steak at a place
in a setting with an atmosphere and all.
And a flight, maybe a flight of beers.
Yeah. And a ride home.
Steakhouse.
Someone to drive.
Yeah, I'll drive.
Yeah, well, not with all that beer. Certainly.
A flight of beer. 4 beers? You think 4 beers?
I don't know how many a flight is.
No, a flight is 4. It's a beer tasting. So they bring you a little,
little
a plank, a plank with like 8 ounces of each
I
beer.
Gotcha. All right.
I could drink 4 or 5 flights of beers and still not have a buzz because they're only, this much. They're like your little breakfast glass of orange juice at a restaurant. The little that size.
Yeah, just enough to piss me off. Yeah, I know.
Not a prime rib. You tell them I want it blue. I want a blue prime rib. Where was I at? Oh, we were at a vaping convention in Dallas. Like, I want to say 5 years ago. And Chris from House of Hybrids, Chris Johnson, took us out to dinner, and it was a steakhouse, and I ordered a blue prime rib, and everybody at the table was like, and Chris goes, "I'll have a blue prime rib too." We ate raw meat together. We were brothers after that. Blue prime. So tomorrow night, Kevin, is the last day of 2022. It's gone.
Where's it at? Where the hell did it go? There it is.
It's behind your big fat head.
That's it. There you go. I can't do it. It took me an hour to figure this shit out.
So yeah, I mean, it's going to take weeks. It's going to take weeks for me to document on my paperwork 2023.
It's coming.
I always have a hard time at the beginning of the year with the year switchover. I've been writing 2022 on documentation every day. And it's gonna give me a pain in the ass. I'm gonna fucking write it wrong for the first couple days. But what are you gonna have any New Year's resolutions?
I'll try. I'll try the best I can to like you. That's one of them.
I don't believe you. I think that you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail at that.
Oh, I thought I could fool you. Just to be a good grandpa. I'm not into the resolutions. I never have been.
You want to be a better grandpa? You're already like
I'm already
spoiling that child like there's no tomorrow. Cerny says the last steak I ordered at a steakhouse, it came to me still mooing. I mean, there's rare, and then there's talking to me on the plate. That's the way I want it.
I just want a little blood.
I want it warm.
I don't care about rare, but
you slap that bitch on the grill long enough for the inside of it to be not cold anymore and bring it to me.
When I was young, I liked that. Not rare, but a little blood, and now I'm like a medium rare.
If it's a good quality steak, it's not gonna bleed.
Yeah.
And be rare. Dry aged
speech,
beef,
but yeah. So that's all I got. I don't know. I don't have any resolutions as those go. And if you do don't let me talk you out of it.
No. I mean, definitely, it's be yourself and be yourself as good as you can be.
Be nice to each other. Be kind, like Skip says. Whether I like to do it or not doesn't matter.
I'm just my goal is to keep doing what I'm doing, man.
Speaking of that, I had a message.
Keep on keeping on.
In my Twitter, I will not share who, somebody anyway, that said as soon as it will come up. What can I do to help get the American public to realize FDA lied, vaping's safe? His words. Nicotine isn't carcinogenic and useful medically. How do I join the fight and make sure vaping is not put into the same category as smoking? They're two totally different things. Great question. Not sure if I answered it all completely correctly.
I don't know that there's any fucking way to do that, Kevin. They're never going to admit that they were wrong.
Right. But I gave him the CASA, and you're on Twitter.
In the entire history of the FDA, have they ever admitted that they are wrong?
No.
Even when they've been proven wrong, will they?
No.
Do they? I mean, in
the
countless number of times that they've approved harmful drugs,
right? Well, they still
do they ever say, "Hey, by the way, we approved this pill for acne called Accutane. We're sorry, but it causes birth defects 100% of the time. If you're a woman and you're taking this pill and you get pregnant, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It has been shown to cause strokes. It has been for a fucking pill for your skin.
Yeah. Well, side effects may occur.
No, they've never come out and apologized for that.
They won't. They will
Did they
not.
come out and did they come out and apologize for the fact that Chantix that they approved to help people quit smoking has caused over 3,000 people to have mental breakdowns, to commit suicide, to have severe traumatizing events in their life from taking this medicine? No, they've never admitted any wrongdoing or any errors, and they never will. Period. I hate to be mean to the person that sent you that question.
No. I gave him the general CASA.
I think
Twitter,
you did the right thing, but I think additional to that, you should have said, I think a better mission would be to inform and educate the public about the truth and not try to.
Yeah, I got all that. I got the legislation and the local and the state, and I did all that. But there's no real answer. There really isn't a wrong answer, but there definitely ain't a right one. It's scary, but I appreciated that person reaching out and at least saying, "Hey," and I'd seen the handle enough times, not a few.
Yeah,
to think they're already doing what they're doing, and they're not being an asshole. I'm not going to change what I'm doing either. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I've calmed down over the past 6-7 years on Twitter. I'm calm compared to what I used to be, and I'm still pissed off.
In preparation for tonight's show, Kevin, I purposefully sought out to create the new intro video that I created for tonight's show.
Yeah.
A reading of the Declaration.
Yeah.
Because as you all know, I'm a huge proponent. I'm in love with, whatever you want to call it, the Declaration of Independence. The Constitution is awesome, pretty awesome too. But the Declaration itself, what it says and why, this is the justification for a bunch of people saying we're not going to put up with your shit anymore. We're starting our own country so that the people can govern ourselves.
Not y'all.
Yeah. So I invite, and I luckily, there are several videos on YouTube that have people reading the Declaration. But to find, if you didn't recognize the voice, that's JFK when he was a senator reading the Declaration. But there's a couple of them. There's one of them with a bunch of Hollywood types, each of them, 20 of them, each of them reading a section of the the Declaration, and going back and forth. And some of the people that are on there now, you would be like, you're reading the Constitution. You're like one of the people that is the most anti-free speech on the planet. Like Whoopi Goldberg is one of the people on this video.
Oh, good Lord. All right.
It starts out with Mel Gibson, who has been blackballed because he's Mel Gibson. He's, a little crazy, whatever, anti-Semitic. I'm not defending him. I'm not gonna. But yeah, there's quite a few people on there going, this video is only 10 years old, and you're like one of the biggest proponents of anti-Americanism in the last decade, and you're standing there reading.
Tell me Baldwin's on there, and that'll.
No, he's not on there.
Thank God.
But Kevin Spacey, the pervo pedophile guy, he's on there, and I'm like, you ruined it. Just But
yeah.
But finding the JFK thing, I invite you to find it on YouTube yourself. I downloaded it. I actually just clipped the audio. I didn't need the video. I made my own video for it. But listen to it. Listen to those words.
Read them. Read them along with it.
Yes, and understand. You know, the part that I have is just a very small portion of it. You know,
it's reading it.
It's a 10-minute video. It's a 10-minute video, and I have the whole damn thing. I could play it, but I'm not gonna do that to you guys because I would be orgasmic over the. You know, it's my favorite thing in the world. You know,
You're like eating steak, wouldn't it?
Oh my god, that's the best shit right there.
You could listen to that while you're eating steak with your new what? Right, with your new thingies, yeah. There you go. Look at you now.
I could eat the smoked fish. I could eat the smoked fish and listen to that at the same time.
Oh my god! Good night, honey. I love you. I'm gonna go in here now.
My wife's like, "I'll leave you alone with the steak in the declaration."
Can we have a private table, please?
I'm gonna borrow her headphones that I just bought her so that I can listen to it and eat my steak in private.
Oh my goodness!
But yeah, listen to those words because we're at a stage right now. I mean, just talking about the nonsense about vaping, not including all the other threats to freedom that we're having right now. The crazy people on one side and the crazy people on the other, each of them different ways trying to limit the freedom of people, whether that's the orange monkey guy brainwashing you or the people on the left telling you that you can't have any fun and whatever it is that makes you happy is bad.
The worthless statement that we heard earlier too is children. It's illegal. And anybody from starting vaping, it burns my ass because of this exactly. You have a choice. You should make an educated choice. I'm not against you doing something, but please be educated. But I'm not going to say you can't vape or smoke or drink or watch TV or whatever the fuck it is you want to do. And that's partly what the Constitution eventually boils down.
Want to sit on your couch wearing a pink tutu and masturbate in the privacy of your own home. I don't care.
Cheetos.
Yeah. I don't care.
I don't
do it. If that's what makes you happy, do it.
That's right.
Don't try to take away what makes me happy, though.
And don't hurt others. That's all.
Well, unless they deserve it.
Well, infringing upon others. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you like raw meat, don't we?
Did you know that is Inco, is their Twitter still blocked?
No, it is. No way.
Is Inco?
We follow each other, and I can see them. Retweeted Grim. December 29th, so and Greg the 26th.
All right.
So
well,
there you go.
Since I can't find it on Twitter, I found what I wanted to find on. So Inco released a New Year's video. So let me do this. I'm gonna start over so that I don't get an echo. Share screen. Share screen, entire screen, share audio. Let's go. So let's see this is Inco's Happy New Year post.
Well, Happy New Year from all of us at Inco. And I wish you great joy in the new year. We look forward to a happier year than the previous. And New Year's is always a time to make resolutions. And for those of you who may still be smoking or know people who are still smoking, we at Inco who support, we're all ex-smokers. We support people who use safer nicotine to avoid those toxic forms of tobacco. So this is a good time to be thinking about helping people make that shift to safer alternatives that will save their lives. And we just, if you're hearing this before New Year's, then I hope you have a happy New Year's celebration. If you're hearing this after New Year's, then you might want to turn the volume down to relieve your headaches, but happy New Year. And we look forward to a joyous 2023.
I love that man, no matter whether he likes
He doesn't
you or
like
not.
us, though. Like, you know, he's said repeatedly that he doesn't like us. So.
I know it. It's part of our clips.
Yeah, I actually have him saying, "I don't even like you guys."
That's
but
that was
but we
his
like
opening
Charles
comment.
I think that somebody at Inco should probably script him, keep him, you know, from saying stuff like hangovers and stuff. You know, just
that makes him.
But you know, that is an adult person can, you know. Did you see that? I just saw that Washington State, is it Washington State? Washington State legalized psilocybin. I believe it was Washington State.
What does that do? I forget.
That's the magic mushroom, my friend. Psilocybin.
Oh yeah. It's legal. That's the only state, isn't it?
I'm double checking. Wow. I just saw that a state.
Wow. Okay.
Legalized it. Let's see.
I'll be darned.
Psilocybin decriminalized. Colorado. It was Colorado.
Wow.
Okay. And Oregon. No, it's not in Oregon. But there are shops in Oregon that are selling it anyway.
No big backlash, no big fight about it. They're just passing it.
Yeah, apparently.
Or is it just something under the radar we all missed?
No, Colorado legalized or decriminalized it.
Good.
There's a difference between.
Right. I never understood this, you know.
Yeah, I did see. This is not anything directly to do with you or me, Kevin, but there are people that this does affect. And this is actually one of those moments where I get to say, I told you so.
Oh, you do like them.
I love them.
You're such an ass.
This is an I told you so to all of the people that were in the vaping industry that jumped ship because it was too big of a fight. They didn't want to spend any money on fighting, and they figured this would be an easy way for them to make a buck.
Uh-oh.
It says here, the FDA may regulate CBD within months.
Of course. It's coming. It's not May. It's already been decided. We just haven't done it yet.
Yeah. So it says here, FDA regulators are planning to review CBD product regulations in the coming months. In recent years, began a stand and selling CBD-based products because it needed more scientific evidence about the safety of such products. However, the agency is now in the process of developing a regulatory assessment for hemp-derived products such as CBD. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday, Janet Woodcock, the FDA's principal deputy commissioner and leader of the agency's cannabis regulation efforts, expressed concern over the safety of CBD and whether the current regulatory pathways for food and dietary supplements are suitable for this substance. However, the agency is interested in determining whether it is safe to consume CBD on a daily basis for extended periods of time. And see, mentioned concerns about potential effects of fertility in the future, but at the same time, Janet, her name is Janet.
Yeah.
Does Janet identify as a man?
I couldn't tell you.
His comment signals misgendered Janet. Signaled that the agency is working to establish regulatory frameworks for the legal sale of appropriate cannabis and cannabis-derived products. Now, I'm going to stop this and just go off of left field here for a second, or longer than a second. Now, many people may or may not know that the federal government actually owns the patents to all extracts from marijuana. Yeah. So that's why there has been no scientific research into the areas of CBD extracts, is because since they own the patent, anybody that wants to do research in those areas has to have their permission. And there are currently only two universities in the United States that have been granted federal permission to do research in cannabis extracts. One of them being the University of Southern Mississippi, which is the largest marijuana cultivation in the United States.
What's that? The government patents? What? Huh?
Yes, they own the patents on a naturally occurring substance. Did you think that's yeah.
Nobody else can do that, can they, Patrick?
No.
You can't patent a natural. Wait a minute. What?
No.
Are you guys paying attention? All right.
Yeah. Just thought I'd let you know. But I did see that, and I did want to poke some of my vaping friends that just evacuated the vaping industry like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, because they saw the PMTA process is unachievable, which is true. Right. It is not achievable by anybody in the open vapor industry. And
yes, Tom.
Government theft ? Yes. So yeah, interesting for you guys to know that. But it was nice for Charlie to put out a Happy New Year thing, and that made me think of psilocybin. So then I went off on that tangent for a minute because
sweet.
Charlie and I are both fans of psilocybin.
Sweet.
And I live in a state that it could be every state in the United States would pass, even Mississippi will pass legalized marijuana before Texas.
Oh, of course. We'll see in our lifetime.
And we even have Willie Nelson.
Yeah, the whole country will have it before this century's over.
I mean, most states already have, not all, most have medical marijuana. We talked about a guy getting arrested or, busted in the hospital, raided in the hospital because he was using THC paste and a vape pen.
I'd have thrown my urine pan at him.
We don't even have medical here either, though.
But really, Patrick, you're in a different situation, but you're walking into somebody's home, they can do pretty much what they want. But if you've got somebody on their deathbed, is there anything you would tell them they can't do, literally, ever? Would you stand by and let it happen?
I live in Texas, Kevin, and I have had patients where I've walked into the home and know what's going on just by the emanations in the air in the home.
I've been there. I know.
And I've had nurses like during a weekly conference make comments, and I'm like, did they do it in front of you?
Doesn't affect you.
And they're like, no. Right. Then I'm like, then you shouldn't put it in your documentation.
There's fuck around, find out, and there's stop fucking around.
Mind your own fucking business.
None of your exactly. Fuck all that.
I mean, it is not my place to make accusations. It is my place to treat my patients.
My step nephew, or I don't even know the relation now.
What the fuck is a step nephew?
I don't know. My stepsister's kid, whatever that is.
That's your nephew.
Yeah. Had headaches 13, 14, 15. They're military. They've got the best alleged medical treatments in the world. Got a headache, here's some aspirin. Got a headache, here's some aspirin.
Kevin, I was a contractor for the United States military.
I know.
Tell you they do.
It's tongue in cheek. So he goes and he's I can't work tonight. I go to the hospital. And I don't know the timeline, but hours later he's in surgery, got a brain tumor, and he died about 6 months later. In the meantime, for those 6 months after surgery, I messaged him multiple times. They're in Virginia before he died, and his mother knew it. And I'm sure his mother, he could get it anyway. But do you want raw? I'll come there. I got friends. I'll bring it to you. Whatever you need, whatever you want. That's what I want those people to have.
Kevin,
I said the same
there
thing
are
to my
people
father.
in this industry and
Yeah.
in adjacent industries. We have plenty of friends that are in that world that I could pick up a phone. You could pick up a phone. Even if they're not our friends, our direct friends, they know who we are.
Right.
If I called John Nathan and said, John, I need
X.
If I called Kev or if I called Fig and it said, hey, dude, I need
X
because I know somebody that's dying.
Yeah. What do I need to do?
I had a friend who had a dog that had arthritis, and one of our friends has a THC Delta 8 whatever blah 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 business, and they make dog treats.
Okay.
I made a phone call and said, "Could you hook my friend up?"
Yep.
Problem solved. I have experienced, and that was somebody who I don't even know very well, that we're just acquaintances.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're a compassionate crowd.
You literally took it out of my mouth. We are humans who are compassionate was exactly what I was going to say.
Kevin Troop is in the chat room advertising.
He's explaining stuff.
hopefully he doesn't try to put a link in there.
that would be a shame.
No, because then we'd be in trouble. We'd be getting our channel blocked again. But he hasn't said who R is. He keeps saying try R. Our friends at Five Ponds have a product called Castle Long Reserve. If you go to their website, you can find this product and other products that they make
alongside. Alongside.
You might be able to find something that Troop is advertising in the chat room, but we cannot advertise with links. I'm kind of depressed though, because I've been advertising this product and have not yet received my Christmas package from my friend Jay. So I didn't even get the Christmas release of the product that I've been advertising, because they have sold out now, because we have been advertising so well.
Dang. Where's it at? There it is.
I'm sad.
I'm trying to match that. There's no way I can do that, is there?
What? You can do this?
Trying to match that over there.
But you got to use your left hand. You got to raise your finger like this. Move it.
Close.
Move it closer to the camera now. Move it. Not that close to the camera, you nerd.
It'll be fine.
So I did see that Barbara Walters passed away, apparently.
Certainly no Tom Petty or Prince.
I don't have a problem against Barbara Walters.
I don't have a problem with her. I just didn't like her.
I actually...
The appearance of asking a tough question and actually doing it were two different things with her. That's all.
If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
And why? You have to ask the why, because it was fruit or tree or vegetable or... I know that question.
If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
I'd be a large oak tree.
So, yes, apparently Barbara Walters is trending. I'm looking at my Twitter. What is trending list?
I'm Baba Wawa. No, that was funny.
Yes. And apparently Rob Reiner is trending as well, because that poor man has nothing better to do than to tweet constantly about Donald Trump.
He's not trending on my line.
I just refreshed. It says that he's trending. Rob
Bet he's
Reiner.
still on top. And then Barbara, and then Diane Sawyer and Cooper and fucking Don
I got
Lemon.
Stormy Daniels, I got Whataburger, and Rob
Wow.
Reiner are my
I don't
trending.
even care enough. It's all distraction.
But yeah,
She's 95.
But I'm Rob Reiner.
Pele.
Like, the only reason that Rob Reiner, anybody even knows who he is, he hasn't made a good movie in years, but he's trending. He's right here. He every day he has to tweet that Donald Trump is going to be indicted today. Today is the day. And I'm like, that man ain't ever going to be indicted. It's just never going to happen. But I did notice that somebody put him. They found a list of everybody that was at Epstein Island, and Rob Reiner is on the list of Epstein Island people. So they actually circled his name and posted it on his tweets. And now every time he tweets, they post his name with the Epstein Island list.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
What were you doing on Epstein Island, man?
They don't want to talk about all that, do they, Patrick?
Well, I don't give a shit. It's just, I hate Donald Trump. I hate Rob Reiner. I hate them all.
I hate them all. Yes, yes.
The only people that I don't hate are you. I love you. Not you, but you. Everybody else can go to fucking hell. I don't like any of them. I think they're all lying assholes that are just trying to figure out how to improve their own lot.
Yes.
And, that's what people's job. That's people's job. I see that, people are bitching and moaning that Donald Trump's tax records are public now and he didn't pay any taxes or he, whatever. And I'm like, did he illegally get away with no tax? If he did it legally, I do my taxes every year, and I do everything possible to minimize the amount that I have to pay in.
Mm-hmm.
I take advantage of every fucking loophole, every fucking deduction.
And so would everybody else.
That is any person on the planet that doesn't do that, that just says, oh, well, I'm just going to here, take all my money, take all my tax. That is anybody that says that is a fucking liar.
Mm-hmm. I
file my income taxes. Kevin pays somebody to do his taxes. I'm sure
because I don't want to be wrong.
Does the same thing and does everything humanly possible to reduce his own burden. That is what everybody.
It's legal.
Everybody, yes. I mean, I'm not going to break any. I don't have enough deductions to be that fishy on my taxes.
Me neither.
But there are places where I am in the gray, and I'm like, okay, I'm just touching the gray. Okay, I can do that. But anybody that files taxes, like you can criticize Donald Trump for whatever the fuck you want to criticize him for, but don't criticize him for the same shit that you do. And every person in America that files income taxes is going to try to find as many deductions, try to do everything possible so that and I agree with Aldous, who just said, hello, Aldous. Taxation is theft. I mean, I don't disagree.
Nope.
But every person that files taxes does as much possible to reduce the amount that they have to pay, to give themselves a refund, or to reduce the amount that they have to pay at the end of the year. Everybody does it. Donald Trump just happens to be better at it than you. If he can get away with paying no taxes,
and he pays,
and he did it legally,
of course.
I mean, I can criticize him for being a jerk. I can criticize him for having diarrhea of the mouth. I can criticize him for tons of things. But the fact that he doesn't pay taxes and he's doing it legally, Elon Musk. If Elon Musk can get away most years with not paying any fucking taxes, because last year he paid the highest tax bill that has ever been paid. It's been fully documented. He paid like $14 million in personal income tax.
Yeah.
But most years he doesn't pay anything. But last year he did, because he did some stock stuff to, move some options around and do some stuff. Fine. But like I said, every American, this fucking country was founded by guys who didn't want to pay their damn taxes, especially since they weren't being represented. No taxation without representation. So yeah, I see that's like, I see people, oh, well, lock him up. He didn't pay his fucking taxes. He has better accountants than you do, apparently.
And as far as Musk goes, he probably only paid whatever the amount you just said was. It came down to 14 or whatever, not 26.
No, I mean, it did go extreme. No, it went super high because he.
But his total amount at the beginning was probably much higher, and then he went get it down as low as you can go.
No. This was an odd year because, like I said, he increased his taxable burden by doing some tomfoolery on the stock market to.
He did not want to pay any more than he had to either. Somebody said,
I'm sure he did whatever.
That's what I mean by that.
I'm sure he did whatever, but yeah. We pay enough in taxes on goods and services that there's a flat tax or a value added tax in exchange for an income tax. I think you would find would be beneficial, but at the point that our financial everything's costing so much more money because of inflation. It's funny now that you see. Now we're getting into political stuff, which may make some people cringy, but we're at the point now in this economic situation that we're in, where the president or his mouthpiece goes on and does and it's essentially, instead of looking at the entire number, they're reporting the percentage change from month to month. Oh, well, inflation isn't getting better. It's only up 0.12 or whatever, or it went down and I'm like, yeah, but what is the amount increase over the last 2 years? That's what you're looking at, because goods are not, the price of goods are not going down.
No, it's all in the wording.
We're at an increase, a dramatic increase over 2 years for the price of goods. So yeah, don't tell me that we're in an economic upturn, because the change from this month to last month has only been a half a percentage point or a quarter of a percentage point.
Gas went down 40 cents.
The overall number is still higher now than it was, substantially higher now than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and property taxes, every year I have to go to the tax assessor here in Corpus to fight. I have to file an appeal and sit in that office all day until they call my name, and to prove to the tax assessor that my property taxes should not be $16,000 per year. I live in one of the highest tax rate areas the county with the highest tax rate in the entire state of Texas. And Texas is a big fucking state.
Damn. Yep.
So Aldous, I showed what I got myself for Christmas on the show. Aldous is one of my comic book friends, and he's a big fan of pulp era stuff, as I am. I already tweeted this, but this is a huge book, by the way. It's huge. It's large format. You should get it.
Huge.
It only costs like $50.
Well, dang.
Yeah. But anyway, love everybody. New Year's is coming. Don't make any fucking pointless New Year's resolutions that you're not going to. I mean, really, the only resolution you need to make is I'm going to be a better person.
And I'm going to watch this
and I'm
show
going to
every
fail
time.
at it because I'm going to be, by the time you see me in 7 days, I'm going to be angry. Steve tells me to move to Colorado so that I can get legalized pot and psilocybin. But the problem is in my current career, in my licensure for my job, I am not allowed, even if those substances are legal, it goes against our code of ethics to use them. So it doesn't matter where I live. I can't. I mean, if I was in California, I wouldn't be able to smoke pot, even though pot is recreationally legal. Because I want to keep my license to practice. But anyway, we love you guys. We will see you in 7 days. Kevin, do you have anything to say to these nice people before we leave?
Do what you want to for New Year's Eve. If you do so, do it safely.
Oh,
That's
yes.
it.
Wear a
Don't
condom
drink
and take a designated driver. That's all I'm saying.
Don't drink and drive. That's it.
I'm just
long cab driving history. So
I'm just going to get drunk here, Kevin.
Find an Uber, find a taxi, find a friend, stay home, whatever. Make good choices. Play nice with the others. Don't shit where you eat. Don't drink and drive. That's what I get. And
I'm gonna close the show tonight with the new intro, just because it's the fucking Declaration of Independence, people. Love you. See you in 7 days. Bye.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security.